Hello and welcome everyone once again. Welcome back for yet another week of MSxREIGN Cross Cup action. So we are in week 2, qualifier 2 of 2 for this very intense competitive tournament that combines both the MSxREIGN Cups as well as the Reign circuit together. And so I am Different Fight, and with me today I also have SxREIGN.
Hello everybody. Nice to meet you again, Chris,
Yes.
last week.
Yes, it is nice to meet you again. But so this time around, we'll be on the analyst desk and doing sort of the emceeing for today's qualifier. And as commentators, we'll switch over later on. But if you are tuning in for the first time, this MSxREIGN Cross Cup is, of course, a very special event in that the top 2 of each qualifier actually qualify for the finals that will be taking place next week on Valentine's Day, in which the 4 finalists from this MS Cup, as well as the 4 finalists from the Reign Cup, will play against each other next week. So it's going to be very intense. We're going to have 8 finalists playing it out for a cash prize, and it's going to be a 3-deck, 0-ban, 5-deck format. So if you want to see more of the competitive Shadowverse and sort of like a meeting point between the sort of English and Japanese communities, that will be where you're going to see all of that action. But today, we're going to find out which remaining 2 players we're going to send to those finals next week from the MS Cup. So I'm honestly really excited. How are you feeling about this, SxREIGN?
This is like SVO Light right now. Very interesting.
Honestly. If anything, it's like... Yeah.
Okay, there's so much on the line here. It's not only that you qualify for the next tournament. The next tournament, you can win money, which was never a thing before in the Reign Cup, in the MSxREIGN Cups.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's until now we always had the MS Cups as sort of advertised as a sort of practice ground, where people could, get together to practice for the SVOs, but it was always still kind of under this casual setting, and people were still, you had the in-game rewards that you were winning, but for once we actually managed to bump that up to actual cash prizes. And I think what's also really cool for me is that in any card game, for me, it's always cool that the opportunities to have cultural exchange through the card game, in my opinion, card games are a sort of communication tool, and having this meeting point between the Western community or the global community at this point, anyone from around the world can join into the MS Cups, and having that plus having the top 4 Japanese players next week, it's gonna be cool to see those play styles sort of come to clash way before the WGP. We haven't actually had that kind of view for over a year now because the WGP has been postponed, and so we haven't had that kind of opportunity to see that at all for over a year now. So for me personally, I'm really excited just to see those kind of the clash in sort of ways to approach the game, right? Because the way that Japan and the rest of the world looks at Shadowverse and practices Shadowverse and everything is quite different, and we've had both sides come to show success, over the years as well. So for me, that's one of the most exciting parts about all of this, honestly.
Definitely. That's I don't know. I missed the WGP. I'm sad to hear it got postponed again to that we have a double WGP this year.
Right.
But anyway, maybe this can be our double GP Lite.
Yeah, honestly, kind of. Maybe we can even do these more often, and then it'll be back-to-back every few months mini WGP, basically. So, I mean, that's also
definitely... yeah, sign me up.
Yeah, honestly, that would be really cool, and I think it's really nice that, from both MSxREIGN and from Reign to be doing this. And speaking of Reign, of course, big thank you to Reign themselves for, collaborating with MSxREIGN for this event circuit. And of course, shout out to our sponsors, Select Gaming, as well. So huge love and shout outs to them as well. So of course, this would be possible without the help of the people working behind all of this and making it come to fruition. But, we still have some time before we get into this top 4, and, we take a look at all the interesting decks that have come up. And should we actually start talking about the players that we have in here and the kind of decks that they're actually bringing?
Yeah, sure. Let's start with the returning guest from last week.
Yes,
returning champion.
Yes, indeed, the returning champion from last week. We have, of course, Chrysome, so everyone's favorite. I know what you're gonna say.
He got demoted back to Pursuit titles because of one of his deck choices.
Is that
Would you elaborate, Chris?
Well, so it looks like he decided to, forego the ways of Pasut and stop playing Forest, and instead he took Volteo Blood, which is, some people have certain feelings towards that deck, and
So
my only feeling. My only real feeling is that the deck list sheet is very long, and the deck itself is like you see it in ladder every now and again. I personally don't feel that attacked by it personally, but it's gonna be interesting to see it, show up here in game as well, in our top 4. And because I guess the magic of this being a 2-deck 0-ban tournament is that like nobody can just ban one of those decks that we're itching to see, and then we don't even get to show it. We don't get to see it on stream. So it's going to be interesting to see this show up potentially in the top 4 as well. But how do you feel about his deck choices?
I actually love him. Like, Volteo Blood is one of my favorite decks to play, actually. I like Highlander decks. For the same reason Tsuyu hates them. Like, he says Highlander decks are so inconsistent because every card is only once in there. And I'm saying, yes, but that's what makes it fun.
Yeah. Honestly, like Highlander, it exists in not every card game, but in a lot of card games. There are certain cards that sort of manifest the Highlander to be worth it. And in Shadowverse case, it's Volteo. And it's cool to give that option to people because I think that certain card game players, they just prefer to have that option. And that's the kind of deck they like, much like in your case, I guess, or I guess in Chris Ho's case as well. But then let's look at the second option, which is the actual aggro Shadow. So this is actually not even like Gremory Shadow. This is straight up the aggro Shadow, the week 1 meta, as I like to call it. This was definitely, if you open your packs and you stepped into ladder, this is probably the deck you faced maybe 3 or 4 out of 5 games. So how do you feel about it? I feel like the deck has been kind of falling off over time. It feels like it hasn't really been coming up as much. People really prefer the Gremory, like the sort of safeness of Gremory, that like Gremory is a deck that just by playing the game, you basically achieve what the deck wants to do. How do you feel about his choice of actually taking aggro instead?
Aggro is certainly still a force to be reckoned with, especially when you go first.
Of course, yes, as all aggro decks do.
Go first, go face. Certain rule in Shadowverse, and it's still like aggro Shadow fell off with the rise of Sanctuary Haven and other control-ish decks which heal a lot or control the board a lot. But aggro Shadow still has that certain touch to it, which can still beat meta decks. It just has to do well and be piloted well.
Yeah, and just make sure you always have a Necropulse in hand and you're good.
I don't know what you're talking about. That's not a 4 play point card. That's... don't talk about it. I don't want it to get nerfed. Please.
I see. I mean, for now, we already had a patch. We already had one patch for this set, and it didn't get touched. Instead, they decided to make Ruin be very, very viable again. So, I think that maybe it'll survive. I like the fairy alternate art for Necro Impulse. I'm personally all for it staying. But yeah, so that was Chrism. That's a returning player. We'll be seeing him in the second half of today's show. He will be playing against, if I'm not mistaken, Lolicun, right?
That's correct. And Lolicun has something spicy with him, which actually you're a great fan of.
Indeed. So we're seeing the Evo Sword, which is something that people have been kind of, talking. Is this still relevant? Do we still play this? But we saw in the SVO just this morning that actually, there's still people in the top 8 of an SVO with Evo Sword. I think even top 4, I think, is what the final record was. And I mean, Evo Sword got great tools in this set. I'm personally really happy about the deck. It does feel a little bit slower compared to, some of the other things in this meta, and therefore struggles a little bit, against things like against the aggro Shadow, and it overall, like, it's the usual sword. It has good matchups across the board to an extent, but it's a bit slower. It takes a bit of time to set up, and that's kind of both the good and the bad part of it. But the new support for the deck is absolutely amazing. Like Seofon and Yechta are just absolutely fantastic cards, and both just really pushed it. Arthur is also really great, so I'm personally looking forward to seeing this on stream. Hopefully, I always like seeing especially sword players that are in the top 4 of like MS Cups and stuff, because there's always so much to learn. So hopefully that's going to be, you know, something that we can look at as well. And of course, the other deck that we see quite a few times today is the Control Rune, which will also be something that we'll take a look at. But that's on life side. The other deck from Olikun is yes, that is the Sanctuary Haven. My bad.
Don't take away the Haven from me, please.
Yes. Pop off, Queen.
Okay. Beginning Sanctuary. It's a fairly standard list he's running. All the heals in the world. Runs that one of the one Angel Feather Folk, which acts as a 4th Unicorn Altar, which gives you the 3rd heal on a turn, which is crucial for Sanctuary. 3 copies of Ra, as usual, though I prefer the 2. And the Spice, which I like because I'm running the Spice myself. Bahamut to just go to turn 10, attack with the world, slam that Bahamut and do a trillion damage to the face.
Ping. Man, it's strong. But now that we looked at the second half that we're going to be coming back to a bit later, let's look at the actual 2 players we're going to be taking a look at now for this upcoming semifinals, which is going to be between Pabs and Life. And once again, 4 different decks brought by these 2 players. So on Pabs' side, we have the Bike Dragon and Aggro Shadows. Aggro Shadow we already spoke about. Bike Dragon, we saw it last week already. You know, this deck is definitely a force to be reckoned with. You know, it can go face pretty easily. We see the Zelganeas in here as well. You know, it's definitely very powerful. It's running the Colosseum, which, as far as I can tell, is a new kind of improvement. I think I saw Tsuyu actually talk about it on Twitter. So how do you feel about that kind of new adjustment of Colosseum on high?
Colosseum on high basically is a card that says, okay, you play that, and then your opponent knows you're setting up lethal, because you would never play this when you don't have lethal.
Exactly. And it's extra deadly, especially in a deck like this that can just randomly just burst a bunch of damage into your opponent's face, like out of nowhere. You know, you think you're safe and it's like, nope, just here we go. You know, just bust down all the damage, you know, like whether it's like the Dark Prisons or the Reggies, you know, or just basically anything in the deck, to be honest. Like it's a very bursty deck. Any variant of Dragon right now is just using a lot of the new cards to just absolutely obliterate the opponent once they, you know, ramp up to the high play points. And like every variant of Dragon, I feel like in this set just feels really, really strong. It's been my personal choice for climbing as well. And then on Life side, we actually have Luxus Forest and Control Rune, which I, you know, blurted out earlier. Tell me about Control Rune. I feel like Control Rune has definitely like been popping up a little bit here and there in this expansion. I personally don't run into it on ladder that much, but I feel like it's still like a really strong deck, you know, using Carol, using the Linkle, you know, cards that were very popular just a couple sets ago and now suddenly have made a grand comeback, you know, and using new cards like Folia as well to kind of like, you know, finish out games in general.
I just wanted to say, you want to punish me with this, right? Because I hate that deck with a passion as a Haven player.
All right.
This deck is basically just out to stall the game while your life total goes down. And sometimes around turn 8, it can come down to the inevitable. You are at 10 HP and then BAM! Carol! In your face! 0 HP.
Yep, it'd be like that. You know, Carol's been around for a while now. Isn't she rotating soon, if I'm not mistaken?
Yes.
Because, yeah, I think after this set, if I'm right?
yeah, I'm just making 3 crosses. I'm thanking Jesus every day that cat girl. I like, love her and pre-Connor, don't get me wrong, but in Shadowverse, she can go and find a corner and cry. Please.
Man, so rude.
Want to never see her again.
We hold no negative feelings towards anyone that likes Carol. You are allowed to enjoy the deck you like. SxREIGN has just got some very bad personal experiences. And then on the other side, the other deck that we saw a lot of last week was, of course, Luxus Forest. We spent a lot of time already talking about this last week too. You know, it's a deck that adjusted really, really well. You know, it lost a lot of its amazing synergy last set with the Natura package, but then it just kind of took some of the new stuff that came out. You know, we got Xeno Sagittarius that kind of works as like a draw engine. You got a lot of other cards that still are really amazing. Walder with its invocation, just so many things that are so good in this new like variant of the deck. And I mean, we saw some really quick lethals from this deck last weekend as well, so I'm excited to see how fast this deck is going to go and open up with Azea. So that'll be definitely very exciting. But yeah, those are your
GP.
Haha, indeed.
I'm just saying, this is our home.
This is our home. I know the English lines too. Don't worry. I know the English lines too. Don't worry. Don't worry. But yeah, so all right. So those are your top 4 players for this second qualifier. So now we're going to move on and take you to our actual casters. We'll be walking you through the first of the top 4 games between Pabs and Life. Take it away, guys.
All right. Thanks, Shira. Thanks, DF. Once again, I'm N Guy, and with me is Ziyu, and we will be your casters for today's MSxREIGN Cup. How are you feeling about the cup, Ziyu?
Look, man, I'm just disappointed that Voltio made it, but I will try my best to cast today. Yeah.
Hey, it is what it is, man. If someone brings Voltio and they win all the way to top 4, they're good. I mean, luck can only carry you so much of the way, right? Some of it has to be skill.
I mean, I don't want to admit that Voltio is a good deck, but I guess we have to see. We have to see how far can we make it.
All right.
Anyway.
So what happens if Voltio takes it, dude? I'll let you think about that.
I am afraid of the future.
All right.
It's scary.
Right, but we don't have to think about it right now. So yeah. Right now we have, what is this? Control Rune and Aggro Forest up against.
Control Rune and Lox's Forest.
Oh, Lox's Forest? Okay.
Yeah, it's Lox's Forest.
Lox's Forest up against this Aggro Shadow and Bike Dragon.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. I want to talk a bit about the Bike Dragon though. I see the spicy Coliseum tech. Yep. That.
Yeah, that is correct. It was bought by SCL today for the SVO.
Right.
But that deck was unfortunately banned during the stream, and we didn't get to see it at all. But
yeah, this is why we play 2 deck 0 bans to you. Now, no matter what, unless Paps loses Shadow 2 times in a row, we'll at least get to see it happen like one time.
Yeah, but anyway, the matches is starting, but I'll talk more about the Dragon deck. So hopefully it's the first deck.
All right.
Anyway,
so heading in, we do not see the Dragon actually. It'll be Control Rune versus Aggro Shadow. Now, as a Control Rune player, I think the matchup isn't as bad as some people might think it is. As Control Rune anyway. Control Rune has a lot of defensive options against decks that like to go fast. Fluffy Angel,
Ramio,
right? Even the Alistair. Yeah, so many defensive options. But we'll see how it goes. Turn 1, obviously not playing anything, nothing in hand that you really want to play turn 1 anyway.
Yeah, there's not much to do turn 1 as Control Rune anyway, unless you are running Insights, but we know that he doesn't run Insight, he runs Clash of Heroes instead.
Oh yes, the one-off Clash of Heroes.
Yeah, that's
right. And look at that!
That's a turn 1.
Yeah,
that's a turn 1.
Getting turn 1 right off the top.
Yeah.
Okay, plays the Bone Fanatic, obviously. So another thing I want to talk about is how some variants of Control Rune do bring Archangel just to counter these turn 1 plays like Miyako and obviously these Bone Fanatics as well. But seems like Life is not running the Archangel tech.
Yeah, that's right. He's not running any Archangel. He's running Force Barrier instead.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a deck that has a lot of freedom in deck building, don't you think? Like you can go a lot of ways with it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, there's no right or wrong. But I bet with you right now, he'd be wishing he brought that Archangel, man. That Bone Fanatic looks like it's gonna stick for a while.
Yeah, I mean, turn 5 heals 5 and increases your health points to 25 as well.
Oh, not that Archangel, the other one. The banished one. That one.
Yeah, that one is great.
Yeah, right. But unfortunately, not gonna see it today. considering the authoring, does go for it, and obviously trades into the Skeleton Dreamer, because why not?
This is correct. This is correct because he wants to prevent the bike from going into like say a storm target like Wraith or anything.
I see.
Yeah,
I
you
see.
rather have the bike to go for something like Grudge Teller, so you can
Or
clear it out. And,
Skullfish, right? Yeah.
yeah, and the 2 damage will be wasted.
So
But-
obviously, right now, Life does have choices, right? With the Fluffy Angel and the other Stair, he can stall it out for a bit. Alternatively, he can try to Magic Missile, I think, to increase his draw and save the Fluffy for later.
The authoring
But-
is active, so I think you want to full clear here. So you
Right,
play the-
because that one skeleton can be really annoying.
yeah, that's correct. So
Yeah.
you probably Magic Missile into the Bone Fanatic,
The
and
Alistair?
then you Alistair the Grudge Teller.
Sounds like a good play, but we'll see.
You
We'll
can
see what Life
also
decides to do.
you can also choose to ignore it and play Fluffy Angel instead to set up a defensive ward. With,
Right, because turn 4 is a Storm turn, right?
Yeah, that's correct. And it's also more play point efficient because you don't float a play point.
That's true. So it seems like Life has to consider this really carefully because if he misplays this, he's going to be in a world of pain.
Yeah, that's
But
correct.
either way, I think the other stuff's a guaranteed play, right? There's no way you want to eat 5 damage just because you didn't check the
That is
you
correct.
didn't check the Grudge Teller. Oh, decides to Dark Mage. Wow. Okay.
I think
Spending
it's
it
correct.
early.
Yeah, I think it's correct because there's not much stuff that you can block with the Dark Mage in this matchup. Most of the damage are from two damage.
I do want to mention though that the maximum damage you can receive from the Wraith is 6 with an Evo. So this just means that you're potentially only blocking 2 additional damage.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's correct.
which could be very important in the long run, but in this case, I don't really think it's necessary because you can just ignore the Dark Mage and just not Evo, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But well, I digress. There is no Wraith. There is only Gold Rush Ghost and a tour
Yeah,
guide.
what do you do here in turn? Probably
Oh, decides to go for the Gold Rush Ghost and the Bone Fanatic.
wants to set up the most board and decides to evolve the Go Rush because he wants to get the effect.
Right.
Wants to go late with this deck. That is super good.
Right. Early on as well.
Yeah, that's
Draws to another Magic Missile. Not exactly what you want to see as Control Rune. Not right now, anyway.
Yeah, that's right.
So we gotta see what Life wants to go for here. Has the Fluffy Angel and the Magic Missile. You can go for some kind of play. I think Fluffy Angel, Clash of Heroes is also a play, depending on how badly you want to get rid of this corpse here, because that corpse is going to be really annoying.
I think you can ignore it because it doesn't go past ward. I mean, it doesn't evolve as well.
Right.
And basically you can. Oh wait, it does evolve, but you cannot. Yeah,
You can
only
attack followers. Yeah,
you
you can attack followers with ward. Yeah, but it is a pain, right? Don't you think? Because like if your opponent has Psychopomp Tour Guides or you set up a ward, you're just gonna lose the ward for free. It's a real pain.
That's right.
It seems like he's decided to go for the Magic Missile. Draws into another Ramiel, which is not what I want to see at all.
Oh, I think there is a play where you can play Ramiel
Into Clash, right?
Clash the 4/4.
Yeah, but you still lose the Ramiel because of the corpse.
Yeah, but it saves you 1 damage space.
Yes, that's true. Decides not to go for it. I guess he's saving it for later. It is a powerful play, don't you think? Having the Ramiel to block damage with Clash as well.
That is correct.
Yep. Oh, and speaking of Abysmal Wraith, look what showed up.
Oh. But I think
Yeah.
it's a Go Rush turn. I think it's more play point efficient and it gets rid of the Go Rush in your hand as well. Because now
That's
it's
true.
quite useless.
That's true.
You have the effects already.
What
Maybe
do you
you
think
can-
about drawing
Okay.
this turn? What do you think about drawing cards this turn?
Drawing cards this turn is not bad, but then you will need a you need a 3-play point play.
Right.
Like Grudge Toller, maybe Skullfish.
Right,
So-
right. So I guess the most PP efficient play would just be Gold Rush Ghost and ram all the ghosts into face.
Yeah, I think you just go rush Ghost right now, and then you trade one of the ghosts into the.
Really? Don't you trade the skeleton? Oh, he decides to go for draws. I guess he's not confident in. Whoa, and that's a Ramiel in aggro shadow.
Yeah, I failed to mention this, but that was a Ramiel in his deck.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, that's a really curious addition. Like, not too
I think-
sure what she's supposed to do here, but we'll
I think you
see.
should evolve. I think you should evolve this one. Like put the 3 damage.
Oh, that's not a draw you want to see. The Bone Fanatic won't be doing anything much.
Yeah, I mean I guess it's a good turn 6. Like it transforms into the 6/5 ward.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Ooh,
that is painful.
That's a rough play. The board was lost just like that.
Yeah, and it's even worse. There's a Folia coming out next turn.
That's
We-
true.
We know it from here because we
Right,
can see
right.
it, but
Yeah, and that's the thing about Control Rune, right? If you don't pressure them early on enough, they get set up. They can just stall it out until Folia turn, and then
That's right.
once that comes around, you lose all chance of coming back. Like as aggro shadow, it's so difficult to deal with a Folia board, especially since everything will be healing. You know, it's just going downhill.
Speaking of Folia, there was a pretty interesting moment in SVO today, where I believe it was Yami Yugi or I'm not sure if it's Stella or Yami Yugi,
Right.
but he failed to protect himself from the Folia and he lost the game after that.
Right. And I just want to talk real quick about how World is a play this turn as well, because HP has just gone down to 13 points due to the Gold Rush Ghost effect.
I think
So-
Folia is a very stronger play here because it sets up 2 huge wards that
One
one
to go for
ward.
the Zelda. Oh, because you can always set up Folia next turn, right? As long as you don't straight up die this turn, you know.
Yeah, I guess that's
Fine.
that makes
And
sense.
if your opponent ignores the world, you get extra 2 heal. Just wait
no.
onto the forward. No.
That's a lot of Folia.
And
Oh,
that's
I
a
guess-
lot of Ramiels, man. That's not what you want to see right now if you're aggro shadow.
That's right.
So if you're Pops right now, you're gonna make the choice. Do you dump the Wraith this turn? And if you do dump the Wraith, do you clear the world?
I think you have to dump the Wraith now. 'Cause
Right?
you know
And-
that war is out already, and you need to cash in the damage now. And
Right.
you have to hope that he doesn't have a Folia.
Right. Oh, he's gonna clear it. Okay.
I don't
The
know
Gold
about
maybe?
this.
The Gold Rush goes?
Gold Rush
Um,
goes.
I guess he is aware of the Folia, but this isn't too helpful. Oh,
Well,
no.
whatever it is, he needs to save this evolve point because he needs to deal with the Folia.
Right.
Right.
But looking at the hand right now, if a Folia comes down, I don't think you'll be doing much, honestly. Ooh.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I think Folia is not much of a con because your winger is still Carol, right?
That's right.
And he hasn't played the full spell from turn 2.
That's
till
right.
now.
But he really has no need to, right? As Control Rune, all you need to do is just choke your
Yeah.
opponents out. Like, look at the resources he has. Two
Yeah,
wings.
that's right.
Yeah. 2 wings, 3 Folias, a Clash, a Force Barrier. I don't know, man. I don't see Aggro Shadow coming out of this alive. It's too much.
Yeah, it's just too much for the.
Yeah. In fact, how are you even going to clear the Folia next turn? Look at this. This is insane. You're not breaking past that.
Yeah, you're not breaking past 6/8.
Yeah. And,
That-
I mean, if you top deck
And,
the sorry, yes,
and he heals 4 as well.
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even if you do top deck the Forced Resurrection, you're not killing both of them because you only draw 1, right? You need 2.
Yeah,
It's-
and she revised it back as well. Realize that.
Yeah, this is insane. Yeah, and it looks like life is in full control right now. Aggro Shadow not being. Oh no.
Yeah, that is not what you want to see. But I guess it's a rave target that you can bury.
Do you even rave here though?
I think you have to rave and Necro Impulse, no?
Why not Skullfish first then rave? I mean, either way, it's pretty bad, right? Like
No, but
matter
if
how
it's Skullfish first then rave, then the rave doesn't get
the +1/+1. Oh,
yeah, that's
right. Oh, sorry. In that case, what am I saying? Skullfish, Necro Impulse. Ugh. You can save the rave.
Skullfish.
Both are
Yeah,
pretty. Both are pretty bad plays, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. With this hand, I'm not too sure you can even clear the board. I'm doing the math now, and
Yeah, I think you're stuck with this position.
yeah, 5 + 8. That's not even enough.
Yeah. Well, he decides to go with the Skullfish into Necro Impulse play.
I mean, at this point,
That's
all you
not
can do.
much. Right.
Right. I mean, do you evolve the Skullfish then? Because you do need to clear that Folia. But you're not clearing that Folia. Now that I look at it,
Yeah.
you're not clearing the Folia. Oh no.
It's going to keep healing too.
Oh no. Right, decides to go triple face because honestly, that's really the only play you can go for, and I think this will seal the deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Decides to gain the evil point.
if you're doing that, why not force barrier first?
Right.
Yeah, you could save out 2 damage in space, but I guess it doesn't matter. Folia heals back to 2 damage anyway.
Yeah, and I don't think Shadowcraft can do 14 damage in one turn. Actually impossible, right?
Yeah. Yeah. In any case, I think you should put on the full spell now because, like, when are you gonna put it down?
I don't think you need to. You automatically win the game just by having that Folia never dying and just hit your opponent's face 4 times.
There is a chance that he loses, but
Meteor?
I think I will. Yeah, Meteor. Yeah, Force Barrier actually protects against Meteor as well. I realized that.
It leaves you at 8 instead of
Yeah.
instead of 6, right? Is it
Yeah,
6?
but
Yeah,
it's
6.
still 8. Still 8 over.
Right. Okay, so as you said, look, you decided to go for it.
I think you
So-
play out the full anyway because, well, if you're not
Right.
playing,
no Meteor, unfortunately. So I think this is the end of the line for
that is tough.
Paps here. Yeah.
That is tough.
Yep. Resigns. It's rough, man. It's rough.
Yeah, that matchup is really difficult anyway for
Hmm.
the Aggro Shadow. But hopefully he can take 2 games back against Loxus. Because Loxus has a very difficult time dealing with aggression early.
Early aggression, right? Yeah.
That's right.
It'll be interesting to see because Paps did bring 2 really aggressive decks, right?
Yeah.
In Black Dragon and Aggro Shadow. So we'll see. We'll have to see whether the Loxus can survive this aggression. If Life wants to take this series and move on to Grand Finals.
But he has to be very smart about it.
So what are your defensive options then as Loxus Forest? How do you defend against the aggression?
I believe Elf Queen and hang on, let me check his list again.
In general?
Yeah, it's Elf Queen, Varbin Hunter, and Giant Pursuit into say a whips or something like that.
Right.
Yeah, those are your basic defensive options. Oh, you have Ramiel as well.
Oh, the spicy Ramiel in Forest Tank. I like that.
Alright. I mean, like people do play Ramiel in locks to skip to turn 6 so you can play a Pursuit into a Loxus, yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, that's what you want to do for the time Loxus anyway.
Right. And would you say that Loxus has a decent matchup against these 2 decks?
No, I think Loxus is pretty bad against aggro. Like they really need to manage their heals and their defenses as well.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll see how good is life on Lox.
Right. I mean, he's made it this far. This is top 4. I think he's pretty good if you can make it to the top 4 with a deck like that. It certainly won't be his first throwdown with aggressive decks.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people brought it. So
Perhaps actually switch to the dragon. So we're gonna watch Colosseum Dragon.
all right, guys, you heard it here first. We're gonna get to see an aggro dragon, bike dragon, Colosseum dragon. What do you want to call it?
Colosseum Bike Dragon.
Colosseum bike dragon.
Yeah, that's what
Alright.
I call it. Yeah,
All
I
right,
think,
we're gonna get to see a Colosseum bike dragon.
yeah, I think there are like 5 different types of bike dragons out there now. Like you have Ganda Goza Bike Dragon, you have Jova Bike Dragon, you have Colosseum Bike Dragon, you have Hypersonic Bike Dragon, then you have the full-on aggro Bike Dragon. Yeah, you
Yo,
have
it's like
everything.
It's like picking my breakfast cereal, man. There's like a whole ton of them.
Hell yeah.
All right, so Loxus Force gets to go first, and look at that. I see Tom Walder.
Yeah,
Is
I
that
don't think Wilder ever.
You know Walder? All right.
I don't think it's a
guess.
Wilder here.
He's considering it, certainly. Look at that. He's thinking about it.
I might be wrong, but probably not.
It's like Quick Blader, right? Get the early aggression, and then your opponent never recovers.
Yeah, they can't aggro me down unless if I aggro them down first.
Right?
Great. But yeah, I really don't think you Wilder here. Because
Right.
I think you can be used in another turn.
Right.
Wow,
Especially when you he goes for it.
I'm
dude.
wrong.
Hey, I mean,
I might not be wrong, but he might be
yeah.
wrong.
Dragon doesn't have any answers early on, right?
Well, they have Chef. I mean, they have Adventure to Chef, but I would rather ramp against Toxis.
Right. Well, we'll have to see how it goes. Has the choice to play Kokoro or Sagittarius, though without bounce. I don't think you play Sagittarius, right?
Yeah, I think you Kokoro here.
Right. Even I'm not that crazy.
Right.
Right. So we'll have to see what it goes for, but I'm pretty sure it's a Kokoro turn. Come on, Life. Don't make me look stupid. Not on camera.
Definitely. Dude. I don't know why you're roping so much. It's very obviously a turn to Coco.
Okay. Yeah, okay, and thankfully he goes for the turn to Kokoro so we don't look stupid.
Yeah, that's right. But that's a very good draw because Bamiyan Hunter is actually good against aggressive decks like Colosseum Dragon and Aggro's Shadow, I believe. Yeah.
He drew a bounce, man. That's a
but Kokoro is still not drawing through, so because it's not the Wind Fairy.
Do you bounce your own Walder then? Or the Sandal Sagittarius? Because your hand's not looking too hot besides the Farming Hunter.
I have no idea. I think you want to keep the Kokoro for heals, so you should bounce the Sagittarius. Yeah, you want to try to find for, Loxus or any other ward.
That's right, okay. I can see the logic in that. Decides to go for the Kokoro though.
I wonder why.
Draws into a second Sukuna, okay. Not exactly what you want to see right now, honestly. Considering the Deepwood Wolf, I think.
I mean, what are you bouncing?
I guess the Walder.
I mean, if you're going with Kokoro, then I think you should pass. You should save the bounce for the draw on Sagittarius.
That's true.
Or you can combo it on turn 5 with like Bamiyan Hunter, bounce the Steed, play Steed, play a 1-drop follower. Or maybe even combo with the Invoke on the...
Well, I guess you were right. He did pass, so...
Yeah. It's not really helpful bouncing any
Oh, and there's the Elf Queen.
Elf Queen is
But,
pretty good.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Ziyu, but I don't see any way the chef is dying this turn unless you Sukuna.
Yeah, you have the Sukuna, right?
Yikes, that's not
Wait,
what you
but
want.
Sukuna doesn't. Does it get buff? No, it doesn't get buff, so there's no.
So it's gonna be a 2, and then the Kokoro trades into the chef as well.
That is.
kind of feels bad, but I think you gotta do it. If not, the chef is gonna be even more annoying going forward.
That is very painful to watch.
Yeah, not the best play in the world, but I don't suppose he had a choice there. Which also means that perhaps he's free to do whatever he wants this turn. So
Yeah, but he's not. He doesn't have much in his hand.
right.
Anyway.
And I don't really play Colosseum Dragon or whatever, but I don't think you invoke Colosseum if your opponent has massive storms, right?
I mean, it really depends on what your opponent is playing. Like,
Oh,
if your follow up, I mean, it also depends on what your follow up is. I think if your follow up is strong, you can actually do it,
right,
so that you can recover your tempo from invoke.
right. But I don't suppose any of the cards he currently has in his hand are good
I
follow-ups.
think it's okay. I think it's okay to invoke it now because you have Wings of Tomorrow to
Right.
follow up. Yeah.
Right?
It,
Okay.
Yeah, and then you can start trying to find a way to kill with like hiding your Dark Prison Dragon.
Right. Decides to evolve the Quixotic Adventurer.
Oh, maybe he's doing this. It's evolving over, then he passes. Yeah, that's
Yep,
right.
And then gets the Colosseum, right?
Yeah.
Alright. So let's
So-
see what life has in response to this. I see an adventurer as well. You can also go for the bounce with Xeno Sagittarius. There's a bunch of plays you can go for right now.
I think
let's see what he does here.
I would like to draw as much as possible here. So I think it's
Right.
Ramen Hunter evolve bounce. I mean Sagittarius bounce Sagittarius.
Right. Sounds like a pretty good move.
Yeah, and if Paps leaves up the Ramen Hunter, it deals like another 1 more damage if the Sagittarius leaves the board.
Right. We'll have to see what he goes for here, though. He has quite a few options, doesn't he? Just has to go for the Elf Queen.
Elf Queen is also fine. I
Oh,
think.
Wind Fairy.
Maybe you can play out the Adventurer as well, sets up for a good Storm turn.
That's true, yeah.
So it also sets up for like Ramen Hunter.
Yeah. I don't think you want Varmint Hunter to get the buffs, though. You wanted to go to, like, Sukuna or something, right?
I mean, it really depends. I think Ramen Hunter shooting 1 more time is pretty. So
That's true. But against a deck like Dragon that doesn't really like to set up a big board, the Varmint Hunter is most likely only going to end up doing 1 more phase damage, right?
yeah.
No,
I think
Yeah.
no matter what Paps draws, it's always going to be Wings of Tomorrow next.
yeah, it's a pretty straightforward play, right? Better play that when you
Oh,
can.
that's the third up, right? But I
Yeah.
don't think you ever played out early because of Ramen Hunter.
So
You should probably try to find a way to make it as huge as possible so that Ramen Hunter doesn't clear it.
right.
Now,
But in either case, if you don't play Wings this turn, it's gonna be a pretty painful Quixotic to Dark Prison or Evo Georges.
I think Quixotic Dark Prison is awful because it doesn't play around Ramen Hunter, it doesn't play around Pashes as well.
And you basically lose everything, I think.
Yeah.
So the other play is George's Evo, if you don't want to use Wings of Tomorrow. But
No, I think it's still Wings of Tomorrow. I don't see a future where he doesn't do it.
right? I mean, this-
Probably
this-
draws into ready.
Oh,
Oh, okay. The
okay.
Razzia is damn strong because it guarantees damage.
Right.
We're going to watch a game where Razzia is going to do 1 billion damage.
Yeah, everyone's favorite game, right? Razzia doing 1 million damage. So I think he's considering the Sukuna and then possibly a bounce, right? That's what most people would go for. Considering it, I guess. Hmm.
Maybe Sukuna into Ramio is pretty good, but yeah, I think it's good because
I don't know. It is like your second Sukuna, right? Wouldn't bouncing it be better? Like just don't recycle the Sukuna.
I wonder.
How much damage is Sukuna even gonna do? It's not too much, right? This is the first amulet. If I don't.
Yeah, this is the first amulet, so he
Right.
3, 4 plus 2, 5, 5, 4.
Yeah, wouldn't be doing too much, so might not want to do it. Okay, decides to go for the Ramio. And then the Sukuna. Okay.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Yeah. Wouldn't the other way be better?
I guess he did play around the world. That's one thing. The 2 damage actually would have activated the world, but
I guess
I don't
so.
think you care, right? If the world comes down anyway.
I mean, props to him for thinking about that because I honestly didn't even consider it, but
the Raja is going to come down.
yeah, now you gotta deal with this board.
Yeah, probably evolves the Raja. Probably. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is the best way.
Right. Forcing your opponent to take a minimum of 7 damage.
Dude, that is 7 damage.
Right. So I don't think you have any choice but to Varmin Hunter. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah. Force the Varmin Hunter.
Yep. Xeno Sagittarius comes down as well.
Imagine playing Loxus without a Loxus setup. It's painful and
sometimes you just don't draw the Loxus, man.
it's very difficult to play on.
Yep. Okay.
I believe Peps hasn't played a single Georgius, so the Dark Prison Dragon actually deramps him.
Right. Oh, here comes Water.
But I think he can just play Georgius and Dark Prison Dragon, hide it on probably go face as well. I don't think there's any.
Yeah, there's no need to hide it anymore, right? Especially when the Varmin hides.
Yeah, that's right.
Alternatively, he could also go for the world. It's a pretty good defensive play this turn.
Yeah, I think the world is also pretty good.
Yeah. I think Life is deciding on whether he wants to drop the Xeno Sagittarius, but we'll see what he does here because I did see him click on that Wind Fairy. Okay, decides to go for the Xeno Sagittarius.
Yep.
And we'll see what Pops goes for here. Yep, goes for the world, obviously, because no one wants to leave a Varmin Hunter alive.
Yeah. That's the second shaft.
Right.
So now he's probably has all the healing that he needs to survive the.
Oh.
That's the Loxus, but no amulets on board. It's difficult to whoa.
Oh no.
And there's not much payoff in ten at all. Like a Shamushama or Sukuna.
Yeah, this is why I was saying that, you know, maybe Sukunaing the previous turn wasn't such a good idea.
That's right.
I suppose you could use Lionel and you can set up like a defense against whatever Pops plays the next turn, but that honestly doesn't feel too strong.
There's also an argument to just Lionel here actually. The Lionel evolves and also gets stats as well. It makes it difficult. Dragon.
Oh, okay. Decides to go for Varmin Hunter.
Varmin Hunter evolved Loxus, I guess.
Go for the Loxus play?
I think it's going for the Loxus play. Does he have enough to move? Wait, he actually has enough, I think, because he has 2 axles.
Right. Okay, so he's building a board here.
Oh, you're running out of time. Shonen, you're running out of time. Run!
Alright, here comes the water.
Oh, that's the third Sukuna. Wait, it might be winnable for the dude. Lock.
Right. I see hope.
Alright, so if you're playing as Dragon right now, so you probably want to try.
Oh.
I think you start with Chef first and you see where the ping lands, and then you play Georges.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah.
I can see the
But
logic in that.
you want to heal up now and not die to Sukuna.
I mean, alternatively, couldn't you use Georges to ping Loxus and then evolve him first before you play
No,
Chef?
because you want to get the heal from.
Oh, you want to recover HP no matter what?
That's right. Because
Okay.
there's no wards from Dragon, so you want to. Yeah,
Preserve as much HP as possible, right?
yeah. I like my odds here because it's a two out of
3, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and yep, just
Yeah, he got
does get Loxus, so it's gonna be an easy clear for Georges if he decides to go for that.
yeah.
Now the issue is, does Sukuna kill if 14 HP is all he has?
Sukuna, I believe she deals 4 amulets plus 2. So it's 6 amulets, 6 plus 2, 8. It deals 8 damage. 8, 9, 10, 11.
3 off.
11, it's 11 damage in.
So a Flowering wins this game, huh? Oh, wait a second.
Wait a minute.
second. I don't see any bounces though. There's no bounces.
But the whiffs might be enough.
Right. I wonder if you've done the math though, because this could be lethal, right? I heard 11, and Shamu Shama is gonna be 3, right?
Yeah. Wait,
That's
hang on.
14 if my math doesn't serve me
How
wrong.
much does Shamu Shama need to evolve?
I think 4, right?
4. So 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I count 4 cards. I
Yeah,
see
it's
4
enough.
cards.
It's enough. No, he missed it. No. He?
Wait, that's still 4 cards, isn't it?
Yeah, it's still 4 cards. That's still 4 cards. I thought
Calm down, dude. Calm down.
that is 4 cards and
Right.
the loss
And
is
I
in the
think-
game.
Yeah. Wow, Life took it. And yeah, this is the risk you take when you play Colosseum in the deck, huh? Gave the Shamu,
Right.
gave the Sukuna just enough to push 14 damage in one turn.
Right.
Ooh.
So Paps will be packing home, going on 4th place, and Life will be heading to the final.
Right. Props to both players though, they played really well.
Yeah, like getting 11 damage lethal from basically what's starting to look like a nightmare for the Loxus.
Right. He had a few really clutch draws. The third
right.
Sukuna, the Loxus top deck
And then the final Shamu Shama. So,
for the win, right? Yeah.
right.
So, anyways, props to Life for taking it. We'll be seeing him again in grand finals. And now we are going to bring you back to the boys at the caster's desk to analyze all that Shadowverse action that you just witnessed.
That's right.
All right, so. All right, welcome back, everyone. So we just saw the first big top 4 from the first matchup between Pabs and Life. Man, those were, I don't know, how do you even put it? It was like dry at especially game 2 felt like it was off to like a dryish kind of start, and then it slowly started speeding up. Like, I guess we should break things down, like starting from game 1 itself, which unfortunately for Life kind of started out in one of the worst possible matchups. Would you agree with that?
Yes, because Control Rune just deprives you of your will to fight on.
Yeah, I mean, it's
You
like
send
all the
your
healing
hordes
and
up.
everything.
Yeah. You send your hordes of undead minions towards their face, and they laugh at you while they ward up, heal themselves, and just you see your life ticking down later on. It wasn't pleasant.
Honestly, like it was just like there was two unfortunate things. Like we talked about Aggro Shadow earlier, but it's like first things first, like it's already a bad matchup because of like the healing, the board clear, control rune. Like any control deck, not just rune, but any control deck will have a pretty good matchup against an aggro deck. But on top of that, the Aggro Shadow from Life actually went second as well, which was pretty unfortunate to see. With the aggro deck, you definitely want to be going first with that extra little push. However, even with all that considered, when we were watching that game, my first thing that I saw was like, oh, like Pabs's like starting hand was like really good on curve. Like he had optimal turn 1, turn 2, and then turn 3 as well. Like everything was just kind of like curve wise, everything was working out. Like he basically had like what, Bone Fanatic, and then I think Skeleton Dreamer, and then the Grudge Teller. I think that was his curve. So like seeing that, you're like, ooh, maybe he has a chance if you can force out the damage, and keep that curve up going forward. But then it kind of fell off after turn 3 or 4, and then it just kind of became a bit of a struggle as he ran out of steam, didn't have the tour guides to keep pumping him with resources, and it just felt like it was basically running out of steam as soon as it picked any of it up.
He was there's this Greek legend of a guy rolling up a stone through the mountain and it always rolls back. That's basically what the matchup was. He had to use the Necro Impulses to clear, which hurts.
Yeah.
It hurts my soul to see this beautiful card, which with Fairy to go anywhere else but the face.
Yeah, honestly. But I mean, it is like that. That was still, I mean, that one Necro Impulse was split. 2 of it went to trade, the other 2 went to face. So it was the middle ground in that sense. But yeah, and then we saw, it still really hurt. The also really important note for game 1 was that we had the turn 4 from Pabs, where he essentially he board clear the aggro shadow to not let him evo face to get more of that early damage in, because that would have been optimal for life to actually get that additional damage to keep pushing that aggro, was to have anything stick from that starting board. But everything got cleared, so he kind of just moved on basically. So it's a bit unfortunate. Even with an amazing opening hand, ran out of steam, and Control Rune just did what Control Rune does best, and just kept healing and putting up resources. Didn't even have to go for any kind of win con, even though it finally turned on the clock with the Linkle at the end. But it was just it was just the case of a rough matchup essentially. But then game 2 was quite different, but still very exciting in its own right, between Lox's Forest and Vehicle Dragon. Do you want to run us through that one?
It was unfortunate for Dragon to go and ramp had no ramp early, and he invoked the Colosseum early, a decision that might have come back to bite him.
Yeah, right, because that's something we saw, and it was okay, we talked about the Colosseum earlier, how it's it's good because it helps you push that push for lethal basically in some cases, but it kind of backfired, as you said, because against this deck especially, that extra little bit of attack on Sukuna can definitely make a difference. And it was interesting because we saw a lot of early draw from Pabs's hand rather, right? We had the Kokoros and everything just helping him sustain and get resources and everything, and it felt like he was good on the resources in that sense. But then the turn 4 was kind of awkward with the not being able to evo the Varmint Hunter going first and stuff like that. And then it was still it still felt like he was drawing enough cards to find the key pieces that he needed. And speaking of which, there was the really clean, I think turn 7 Varmint Hunter turn, where he basically ended up trading everything, if I remember correctly. And it was just it was just a really nice way to just keep that board presence while at the same time denying Dragon that kind of extra push that they were trying to get out as well, right? And then on top of that, there was the world turn that we had as well that kind of helped to sustain. I feel like in game 1 the world wasn't as hot, but then in the game 2 the world actually really helped Pabs sustain right there as well.
Definitely, the world is a key card in the Colosseum list, because it basically lets you heal yourself up, draw 2 cards, and
trade as well.
2 minions. Yeah, trade
that
as
was
well.
on life side, my bad.
Yeah, and earlier in this game from Pub's side, he had to play the Sukuna raw out turn 4 to trade into the 3/3 chef. I feel like that could have been avoided by just playing one Sagittarius, but in the end it didn't matter. He won the game fair and square with this well-timed Loxus with into the Sukuna and Shamu for the lethal, because the Colosseum enabled that.
Exactly. That was such a nice turn with the Lux's turn just felt so well timed. Like I remember we were watching and we're like, oh my god, I think MSxREIGN, you said like he needs to just top deck the Lux's here and he can like it's gonna be perfect, and he does it. It was like absolutely well timed and just really perfect. But then the turn after, the Georges basically cleared everything, and I really liked how he like distributed the damage carefully to make sure that just evoing the Georges basically just destroyed everything, and that was really nice to see. But even that wasn't enough when you have that Colosseum that's been there since turn 4, and you just go Sukuna, you play out a bunch of low-cost stuff, drop the Shamu Shamu, there you go. There's your, 14 damage of lethal. Like, that was just absolutely explosive and really cool to see, like, that very clean cleanup from Pabs. So honestly, huge props to both players. And there is a chance that Pabs, Pabs, of course, goes to the finals, but I think for life as well, they will basically potentially have to play a tiebreaker depending. I think Pabs will potentially to play a tiebreaker if Chris Holm makes it to finals or not, because they have the
He's
the fact
already
that they
qualified. Yes.
Exactly. So yeah, that was honestly really, really interesting overall. But I think we're good to go for our second of the top 4 matches for our semifinals before we take you to the final. So this one's going to be with our previous champion from last week, Krizom versus Lolicud. So there's going to be Shadow and Blood versus Sword and Haven. It's going to be a lot of exciting action. I'm definitely really hyped to see what's going to happen. So let's see, let our casters take it away and see all the action of our second semifinals.
Yeah. Let me just shout out Suyu real quick. It's Jerry. Jerry time.
Oh boy.
And we're back. So, yeah, this is the match you wanted to watch, right? See you? I see Wolfhill Blood.
Dude, like I'm reading the lists right now, and
Tell me.
Dude, this is the first time I have to scroll down on the list 3 times to look at the end of the. This is crazy. I don't like it anymore.
All
Dude,
right,
get
all right.
me out. Get me out. I don't want that.
Yeah, no, you're stuck here with me, man. At least for 2 more games.
Oh my god.
Alright, let's try to break this down for it, shall we? So, in a Voltio deck, obviously the most important part is Voltio. But getting to the Voltio turn is another thing altogether, right?
I mean, like, you have 7 turns to draw it. 6 turns if you're playing Ramiel. How high can it be?
I mean, against an aggressive deck, maybe you don't even survive 7 turns.
No, but against an aggressive deck, you just play Voltio and he beats, because there's no way he gets over it.
He just kills you before Voltio then. That's how he'll do it. Kill you in 7 turns.
I mean, I played against Voltio before, and
Right.
and like every time they get it, I just lose. But like if I don't, then I just win.
Alright. But I digress. We don't have any aggro decks on the side of Lolicud here, so that's a moot point.
Yeah,
In fact, they're both mid-range or slow decks, right? I see Sword and Haven.
yeah. From left to right of the bracket, Krizom is on Voltio Blood, Aggro Shadow,
Right.
and Lolicud is on Evolve Sword and Sanctuary Haven.
Right.
So, I mean, I talked to Krizom about it, and he said Voltio loses to Evolve Sword, but it beats Sanctuary Haven.
Right, because what can Voltio do against a watered up Seophon, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
looks like the match is
Yeah,
getting
going
underway.
So, this is not the matchup you want to see. Oh,
No, he's being a tease, man. Krizom doesn't want to let us see the Voltio. Come on, Krizom. Give the men's what they want.
yeah. But basically, aggro Shadow against Sanctuary is very Sanctuary-driven.
Right.
They have too much healing.
We'll have to see how it goes.
Yeah.
Maybe Krizom can make it slightly more competitive than what we expect it to be, but
Yeah, it's going first, so it might be possible.
right. Doesn't get any turn 1 plays, unfortunately.
That is the
Lolicud does, though. Lolicud does. And if you're Krizom, I think you're kind of forced to Quixotic here, which he does.
Yeah, Quixotic into probably Skullfish. and clear whatever's on turn 2. But Sanctuary doesn't play much turn 2, so
And yeah, they don't board anything. In fact, like they seldom do board anything.
yeah. Skullfish comes down and becomes a 4/3.
Right,
Gold face. Probably Fluffy Angel?
right. Decides to go for the blind justice. Not even gonna risk it.
Yeah,
And, why should you, right?
once they deny the Skullfish. And once they deny Skullfish reanimate.
Right. So Chrism understandably is trying to push as much damage as he can before it's too late. You are on the timer as aggro shadow, right? Because you do run out of resources really quick. So yeah, Chrism's trying to push damage as much as he can. Over on the side of Lolicun though, not much you can really do here, huh? Chooses to Lorena.
Lorena probably.
Lorena clears them both, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. So here it comes.
Wait, I just realized, is that a Bahamut in the Sanctuary Haven? Yeah?
Oh, it's more common than you think, man. The MS boy had that check as well.
Wait, yeah, it is a Bahamut. What?
Yeah, it makes your Ra more painful, you know?
Oh yeah, I guess it does.
It makes your world more painful as well. So it's a pretty okay tech. I like it.
Yeah, and it also deals with like, say, Meteor on turn 5 from the shadow side.
Yep. Although you could argue that Black does almost the same thing.
Yeah.
Except 1 damage less, I guess. Anyways, back to the point. Chrism understandably for the Gold Rush goes here, wants to get the leader effect, and pushes damage with the gold.
Going face probably trades it, and
Oh,
that is very good against Ra.
right?
Right.
Kind of Rano. So, do you even Fluffy? See, there's so many things you can't do when that thing's on the board. The Legend Corpse, so good.
I mean, I don't think you care because you're healing anyway,
Right.
and like your bot is going to get cleared out anyway, so don't care.
Okay, well, let's see what he goes for. Altars first. Into... Well, what do you go for? The Unicorn? Oh, Fluffy Angel. Okay.
I think you keep the Unicorn because it's surprise healing later in the game. Wait, is he trading it? Wait, I don't like this, but
Doesn't seem like he's going to.
oh, I also remember that that Crystal had his Skullfish vanished, so that means the Gold Mine Necromancer doesn't get any 3 play point back.
Right. But he does have that second Skullfish, so...
That's right.
And I want to point out that both the Unicorn Altars hit the cheap Unicorn that turn, so it's going to be a really cheap heal for Lolicun coming up next turn.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure about the Evo though, because it's going to die, isn't it? The Unicorn Altar is going to trigger and your
That's
Legend
right.
Corpse is die.
Yeah, Crystal knows this, I think. Thinking about it.
It's nice not to go for it. Yeah, it's too risky, right? It's
That's right.
not the best play, yeah.
I wonder if you can even go late against Sanctuary. I think you need to find out that one window to queue. But Crystal's not finding it.
Right, and now it's only going to get worse from now on, isn't it?
That's right. With the 1 play point Unicorns and
And the Ra, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, with so much
Oh.
resources, Haven can really start to put you on the timer. Yep, goes for the Ra, and probably the Unicorn as well. Yep, and now Chrism has to race the clock. Ra's only doing 1 damage this turn, but it's gonna do a lot more in the following turns.
Yeah, it's gonna do a lot.
Right. Gold Mine Necromancer also doesn't really do anything here. Neither does Gold Rush Ghost. Neither does Miyako. So,
This is not a good day for Aggro Shadow though, but they made it this far somehow.
right. So I
Yeah,
suppose.
perhaps.
Oh, Oh, that's gotta hurt.
I don't really understand this play, but oh, I guess yeah, this makes sense.
Yeah, this is the maximum damage, right?
That's right. But there's not enough shadows in the side of Crystal anyway. Necroing Pulse.
But you do what you can, right?
That's right.
Yeah. It would have been great if you could get the draw from.
Oh no, that's Io.
Yeah, the eye was the least of your concerns, man. You see that unicorn. Oh, that's another 5/5 on the board.
Yeah, that's very difficult.
Yeah, and next turn Io heals 4 instead. It's only gonna get worse from here, man.
I think Chrysom's only way out is turn 9 Meteor into Necro Impulse.
Right.
But oh yeah, but this is not looking very good for the aggro shadow.
Yep, and Lolicon decides to play it safe and keeps the Io for next turn, I'm assuming.
Yeah, wants to heal for
Right. It's a precious resource, and Chrism's taking HP.
Yeah, but
no, that's not what you want to see.
That's one turn late. Yeah.
I think this is it, right? Even if you do play the Miltio, yeah, there's nothing you can do.
Well, I hope aggro shadow loses fight so we don't get to see Miltio on stream. Yeah, I'm cheering.
Hey,
aggro shadow.
Hey.
Yeah, what?
I would argue that Aggro Shadow has a decent matchup against Evil Sword, though. Especially if you can go really fast. Nothing much you can do.
I mean, yeah, it makes sense, but then that means I have to cast Miltio later. No, he cancels it now! No!
Yeah, you're not escaping this, man. You're gonna cast Miltio when you like it or not.
Well, I mean, better now than later, so... Oh, anyways. Oh, he even has it on Mao! No! It's all good.
Okay, so think about it, right? Before this game started, we were saying that, or rather, you were saying that Blood has a bad matchup against Evil Sword. Voltio Blood anyway.
Because Nahato. Oh wow, he full keeps it. But both players full cap their hand.
Oh, this is gonna be interesting. Okay. Opening up with a B. Classic. Anyways, decides not to play the Kagemitsu turn 1 because why would you?
That's right.
Chrism doesn't get any turn 2 play.
I mean, what turn 2 play can he even play?
I guess Black Pact or something. I don't know.
I'm looking through his list right now and hang on.
Oh, how many turn 2 cards can he play? Like, how many of them? I'm pretty sure Bahamut is one, right? Behemoth, sorry. Behemoth is
So this deck is difficult. Oh crap. Yeah, he had like 10 2-drops that he didn't even draw.
Well, I mean,
That's how bad this deck is.
Decides not to play the red.
He's not even playing it on 3.
Yeah. Understandable, right? Because you get something for Kagemitsu to trade into, and you don't really want that. Okay, so decides to go for the Gelt here, which is fine, because you go for it. Right, and Chrism decides to go for the red cap this turn, so the X is probably going to go down as well. Yep, +2/+2, that's a pretty big goblin.
Yeah, wait, I don't even get half of this. What do they even do?
I mean, don't they just stall till Voltio turn, and then they Voltio?
I mean...
that is the plan, right?
I guess?
I mean, I did play Voltio for a while, so yes, I can semi-confidently say that is the plan.
Then you have to lead the cast, dude. I have no idea.
Oh,
I'm going in blind.
Okay.
I'm going in blind. I have no idea what this deck does.
Alright, so Discerning Devil comes down. Pretty good card if you play Voltio because it draws you 2 cards. One from the Last Words and one from Fanfare. Pretty good card to have because you kind of want to draw your Voltios as fast as possible. I also want to point out that this sets up for Neria next turn. If he kills
it does set up for Neria.
It's a really good turn 5 play. So Lolicun probably
I-
considering the Kagemitsu this turn. Yep, it does go for it. You want to stack up as many evils as possible because this is Evil Sword, and
Yeah, it
you
also
kind of want to Evo.
Yeah, it also might open up a chance to deal with the Nereia later.
Right. Although I don't think you can really, counterplay one-offs in this deck. It's literally one card.
No, why would you play the Bane there? No! That is not good.
Oh.
It gets eaten for free by the Nereia.
Well, I mean, like I said, do you really play around one-offs in the deck? So it's really hard, right? To make
You have to.
oh.
You have to play around it. No,
Yeah.
that is, you get punished. Dude.
Yo, here it comes.
That is why I hate facing this deck. You have to actually play around one-off.
Well, I don't know about you, but I don't think that's the end of the world.
Well, if he gets a Nahato should. He gets a not. So he has to Amelia, I guess.
Yeah, probably Amelia here. Kind of need to get your you need to get your Octa because you want to win on turn 5. That's not an Octa, dude.
That is not an Octa.
Right. So Sword now doesn't automatically win on turn 8, and this is kind of awkward if you're Lolicun.
Now we have a game. We have a game to cast.
What do you mean? Okay. Right. Okay.
I don't know. Both of these decks are quite disgusting. Like they just store until their main turn, and then they just go all in on their one win condition, and then they win. That's literally it. Now we have an actual game.
Oh, okay.
Not really, because like the Votio has Votio,
Right,
But,
but props to Lolicun. He's gonna be able to clear the board here. Loses his entire board though, but I think that's the least of your concern. Since Voltio's coming down next turn and your board's probably gonna get wiped anyway.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Right.
Dude, this is
Time
the
to play the
worst-
lottery, boys.
This is the worst turn I've ever seen in my life. Oh no.
Here it comes, guys.
Oh, this hurts, dude. This
Yep.
hurts. Goblin Queen.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay.
That is.
Alright.
Dude, this is the first turn.
I don't know about you, but if you...
Oh, but that
wait,
is an
wait,
answer.
wait.
That is
That's
an
an answer,
answer.
isn't it? That's an answer, right?
That is an answer.
Yeah, but you only answer it for one turn though. The Voltail's just gonna keep steamrolling you.
His first Votio turn gets an Arc what? An Arc Demon right off the bat.
Right. I don't know what the odds of that are, but I'm pretty sure it's less than like 10% or something.
It was 1 out of 28.
No, some cards are
8 or
spells.
37.
So one card's a spell.
37.
Some cards
Yeah,
are spell.
I guess so.
Yeah. Not exactly the best position to be in right now.
Yeah.
Besides
Yeah,
the Arthur.
you definitely feel awful as sword player now. Did he plays? Wait, how many Nahatos does he play? He plays. He does it. Wait, he plays 2 Nahatos, but doesn't draw a single one. That's the way he does it.
Well, you can't always get what you want, man.
Dude,
Sometimes you're just gonna have
can
to.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine being this guy?
Oh, what do you mean? I mean,
Can you imagine being this guy? Dude. Pepe laugh.
I mean, your opponent is playing Highlander, so to some extent I think this has to come to your consideration, at least a little.
Dude, can you believe losing to a Highlander? Can you believe this guy?
I mean, he
Yeah.
hasn't lost yet. He might win.
Cannot
so
be me.
He might win. Don't count.
Cannot be me. Oh my god, that heals as well. Dude, this man is rolling.
I mean, the heal is irrelevant, right? Because he was gonna heal either way. From
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah, sure.
So the question is, do you Amelia here? Because you kind of need to get your Octa if you want to win, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see nothing but tough choices, man. What do you really do here? Okay, decides to go for the Amelia. I mean, what choice do you really have?
This
Still
is
doesn't.
awful. Still doesn't have the Octa.
Right, so it's only getting worse as time goes on. But the good news is, Xiaofan will be active next turn, so he can set up the really cool play where you get an invincible Xiaofan. But that's at least one turn away, and this is gonna be a really painful turn,
I think you Arthur here. You need to protect your face.
right? It's like 14 damage on board.
Yeah, I think you have to Arthur here no matter what. No, don't do that.
Oh, decides to.
I mean,
Go
I
for
guess
the
it,
arrow.
I guess it helps. It helps if the. Wait, how much damage is this?
This is
Five.
14.
14. 14. Wait, but wait, don't the Highlanders lose here if Sephiroth comes down? Cannot do face damage.
I'm pretty sure you can still win. It's just going to be really hard.
But how do you win?
Effect damage, I guess, via Bahamut. Bahamut still
Wait.
goes through the Xiaofan, so
What?
if you push enough damage, Bahamut can still win the game for you.
I guess, but Sword's gonna put up so much more.
Right? The good news is, Lolly-kun won't have too much PP to set up the Xiaofan and then some more stuff.
Yeah, I guess.
yeah.
I guess Christop's probably thinking about the switching face now.
Right.
I mean, he has to. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you don't and the opponent sets up the Xiaofan, you can't even win with Bahamut anymore, so... Yeah, decides to go all in with the face damage.
Wait a minute.
What?
Wait, wasn't it lethal?
How was it lethal?
Wait, you evolve the Voltio, then you play the Bahamut, and then the attack actually buffs and.
It's +1. It's a one-off. It's +1, +1,
Oh, it's one off. It's one off.
Yeah, it's one-off. It's not
Yeah,
lethal
one
yet.
off.
Yep.
One off. My bad.
Right, so understandably,
Oh my
I think he's gonna set up the Xiaofan here. That's his literal lifeline right now.
Only one out to win.
I'm not even too sure what. Yeah, I don't know what Chrism can really do here because World is not coming up for him next turn. The World is in his hand and he can only play one, so
Yeah.
he can't even die to the damage from the World.
Yeah, that is Exodia right there.
Right, and
Did you really?
you know,
Oh, and the
can even buy
Arthur
insurance. Yeah, he can
actually-
even
yeah.
he can even get the Arthur down.
Arthur actually protects against the Bahamut as well.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't want to call it too early, but this is looking real bad for our boy Chrism here.
Yeah, and remember Bahamut actually shoots your followers first.
That's right. You're not even gonna shoot any of the sword followers. So this is pretty bad if you're Chrism right now. Gets the Archangel, but that's useless.
Wait,
It's not
I
even
think
gonna do anything.
I think you just spider here, right? No? And
I mean, you could, but does that really do anything? It stalls one turn.
no, I think you need to deal with the.
Is there
This
even
is-
anything in the deck that can win the game now?
This is what a game, dude.
Imagine-
This is not enjoyable at all, but what a game we're having.
What are you talking about? You wanted this, right? You wanted
No,
Voltaire to
I-
lose, and now Voltaire's losing,
No.
man. Look at this.
I don't like this. What? Who said that I'm enjoying this? But this
Oh,
is not.
man. Oh, look at that. He has to trade his Voltaire in just to get a Hazan out. The Hazan's
wow,
not even
what
gonna
a
do
guy.
anything.
What a snipe.
Oh,
Wait,
dear.
the Arthur effect will keep staying until the end
Yeah.
of the game.
And I see a Nahat in his hand. He can clear the whole board.
This is the absolute state of the game that we're having now.
Yep, here it comes, boys. The whole board's gonna be cleared. Oh my goodness. doesn't even use the Nahat. Oh dear, oh dear.
Oh dear. This is the beginning of the end. No,
Oh,
it's the beginning.
I don't think it's the beginning of
my
the end.
happiness.
I think it's the end, dude.
This is I'm enjoying this, dude. This is what I wanted to see.
Yo,
Hell yeah.
could you keep the bias in check, dude? Like, come on, dude. Come on.
Hell yeah. I'm enjoying.
Alright, I mean, both decks are pretty rare. Voltio and Sword both are pretty rare, but this is violent, man. Not like this.
Oh, the 6! Wait, 6 would have won the game earlier.
How? You can't even get past the ward.
Oh yeah, wait, never mind. I'm retarded.
Hello?
Oh, yeah, it's what I realized. So I was like,
Hello?
oh, wait. Okay, my
Excuse
bad.
me?
No. Watching this game made me brain numb. Yeah, my brain is numb.
Right.
I have gone retarded from watching this game.
Oh. Alright then. Well, the good news is this is the last time you'll ever need to watch this game because
That's right.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think.
No, if Crystal
Prism
wins
can do
this
anything
game,
here.
if Crystal wins this game, then I'm actually going to be so sad.
How?
He gets-
There's literally no way he can break the ward. It's over.
He gets to play Zarganea, and I think, well,
I mean, what does that even do?
Zarganea I'm past. And
But why? Well, I mean, props to Chrism. He's still playing it out, but I'm 100% sure that there is nothing in the deck that can like get past the Seophon. Okay,
No,
so
I
it's
think-
considering the IO.
Oh, I guess that removes the other shield, so
Yeah, but don't you kind of die next turn? I'm looking at 14 damage. And that's the exact amount of HP you have left.
oh wait, if his Shadow Showers hits the IO, then he has a perfect. There's a perfect setup.
I don't think there's a perfect setup, right? I see 14 damage that you can't clear unless you use Sudden Showers and it hits Aliaskar.
Oh, so he wants to set up the guaranteed ward. Okay.
Okay, well, I think it's over, right? Because that's 14 damage, and your opponent has Nahan. Yup.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah, yes!
Oh, okay.
That-
Wow. Did they even wait, huh? Hey, can you at least wait till the game is over before you celebrate? Yo, kind of rude.
No, I'm gonna celebrate it now, dude.
Wait,
Fuck.
hello?
Yeah. Wait,
What?
What?
Excuse me?
wait, he even missed
No
it?
way. No way. No.
Dude, you had lethal presented to you. Dude, come on.
The absolute state of Shadowverse right now. The absolute state of Shadowverse right now. Extended BM, dude, I'm calling it. This is extended BM.
Dude, Voltio comes down again.
But
What
for what?
the heck?
This doesn't do anything. No way. Okay, this time
Oh
for
wait,
sure.
oh that's a loser. Wait, this is
Doesn't matter. He has the Nahan. It doesn't matter. This time, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I guess.
If he misses it again, he really doesn't deserve to win. So we. Holy shit! No way! I am so sorry, guys. I cast on stream, but oh my god! Why?
I'm having an aneurysm right now. Holy
Wait.
shit.
Excuse.
Wait, could Bahamut win?
Like,
Wait, what? Wait, what am I watching? What am I watching? My eyes! I can't take it anymore. Someone get me out!
does he just not want to win? I'm very confused. Is this payback because Chrism kept BMing? Is this payback for all of that?
Wait, Agavi
Doesn't do anything. Agavi doesn't do anything,
He
dude.
doesn't have ref. He only has one ref.
Nothing
my
does
God.
anything here. Look,
The Voltio.
the Volteo's not doing anything either.
Dude, surely he cannot miss it this time.
I mean, if he does, okay, now it's literally impossible to miss this. There is no way you can miss the lethal like this. Yeah. Okay, finally decides to end the game. Thank God.
Good job, bro. Good job. Dude, that's it. I'm celebrating it right now, dude.
You see, to you shouldn't celebrate it like, you know,
Dude,
3
just
turns
look
before
at
the
this.
game
Look at
actually ends.
Yes, Voltio died. Yes.
Alright. I'm so sorry, guys. This caster, my partner here, he's biased as heck. Right, but anyways, props to the Yo, enough already, dude. Alright, we get it, you're happy. Jeez. Let the rest of us, you know, feel bad. The rest of us that wanted to see Voltio in Grand Finals. Yikes. Anyways, congratulations to Lolicun. He will be facing off
Yeah, congratulations.
against Life in Grand Finals. Unfortunately for us though, that's the end of the Voltio journey. But if memory serves, Chrism did win last week's Rain Cup, right? Which means we will see him.
Honestly, he still be in the playoffs. So
Then maybe we'll see Voltio again there. We don't know. There's always a possibility. Anyways, we're gonna bring it back to the boys at the analyst desk to break down all that Shadowverse for you. Take it away, boys.
Well, that was certainly a semifinals. So Chrism and Lolicun were our second pair of semifinalists, and man, that was like game 1 felt like a repeat of game 1 from the last one. Just aggro Shadow running into yet another counter, essentially, right? You know, that game kind of spoke for itself, right? It was a bad matchup for Chrism with the aggro Shadow. It just felt really unfortunate that that was what he had to run into. And then we saw like this nice deny of the Skullfish from Lolicun early on, and just like Lolicun in general with the Sanctuary Haven was just able to deny everything at every point. Although points for Chrism for having like first like he had a good curve going for him, and at the same time he also just like was able to still push damage in the early stages, but just like last time, it really fell off over time.
Play to your outs, guys. Never surrender.
Yep, play to your outs. But
speaking of outs, Chris, would you explain to me if there was an out for our boy Chrism or Pastut in the Volteo versus Sword game?
Man, the Volteo versus Sword game, like, remember when turn 1, Chrism emote spammed because he had Volteo in the opening hand, and it was just like, easy GG's, you know, like, getting all confident? Yeah.
About that!
Yeah, there's a super Skybound art I'd like to introduce you to that kind of deals with everything you're trying to do. So, man, that game was interesting because, you mentioned that this was originally an unfavored matchup for Sword, right?
It still is. It's just that Sword has this one out. This very specific out.
Yeah, which, I mean, isn't that hard to reach, apparently, as we saw right there. So, you know, we saw, like, Chrism also, like, open Volteo, had a pretty good curve. He had, like, turn 3, 4 plays. And then, like, one of the nicest things that was really good to see was, like, he had the Discerning Devil, the one that, like, draws you a card, and then on destruction draws a card to start a turn, that he changed into a Nerea after, which is, like, actual, like, hell for any Sword player. Like, seeing that was like, oh, that is, like, perfect, like, absolutely perfect curve. And in a Volteo deck where everything is a 1-of, that felt even better to see than anything else.
Nerea, this bane of any board-based deck since her invention. Like,
honestly,
I loathed her for a while, then I converted to the Nerea Believers. I would say that was a defeat at that point, but
yeah, it felt like it was game over, you know? At that point, I was like, wow, like, that, and then Volteo, like literally, I think it was 1 or 2 turns later, right? It was just like, oof, ouch. Like that was, it felt like it was gonna be Chrysome's game there, but then the Seophon. And an important thing that we noticed with this, or you rather noticed with the Seophon, right, was that entire setup that we did with the Seophon, like literally cannot take effect damage, cannot be destroyed by effects. You said that could have been done 1 turn earlier, right?
That's correct, because you didn't need to play the Amelia there. You could just kind of evote the car and then play the free drop and then into Seophon.
Yeah,
you had the safety 1 turn early. Could have had the safety 1 turn earlier. I would say, but Chrysome couldn't push lethal anyway. So who gives the safety comes 1 turn late or earlier?
Yeah, that's true, honestly. So, but then once that Seophon came up, like as you said, that was the one out for the sword deck, and it's just like the only other response Chrysome would have had is through burn effects, which he did have some burn effects in the deck, but then the Lux Blade also did some extra healing, and you know, the more healing came through, the worse it gets and the harder it is to clean that game up. So I feel like as soon as the Seophon hit, it was just a matter of time. Like they were kind of grinding it out. If like there was a couple times where I think, what was it, like Lolicon could have ended the game, but then I guess they just like kept doing it, just kept going and seeing whether like he can actually draw any outs, but no outs were drawn, and Seophon literally answered that entire matchup. So a single card holding it down for the entire deck. That the Super Skybound art really coming through there. That felt so key in that situation, and really, for all intents and purposes, just like won that game. I also, probably one of my favorite moments was when he does the sudden showers on his own Volteo.
Yes, that was karma.
Like, to me, that was like just like the depiction of that entire game. Was just like he was so confident, had everything going right for him, and then oops, suddenly it's again coming back to that meme of like, I'm a genius, oh no. Like that was the exact same kind of feeling I got in that game. But props to Chrysome, he's still in next week's finals. He already qualified last week, so for him, top 4 finish is already a really great place to be. And so now we're actually going to have our finals. So unfortunately, earlier when we had our analyst desk, I incorrectly mentioned Pabs, but Life is our finalist from those 2 matches. It was piloting Control Rune and the Loxus Forest. So that's going to be really cool to see against Lolikun's Sanctuary Haven and Evo Sword. So it's a pretty good, diverse set of decks, 4 different decks. And it's going to be interesting to see, like, what are some matchups you're looking forward to from these 2 players, like now finally clashing in the finals?
Control Rune versus Sanctuary Haven. I'm not saying that.
I knew you would say it.
I'm not saying that this is interesting because, well, it is, but like, Haven can do nothing against the Tides of Time, which represent Linkle and Carol.
Yeah, honestly, and I'm curious. I've never seen that matchup before. Honestly, like these 2 decks facing off, I've generally not seen this exact interaction. So I'm really excited for it personally. It's going to be really cool to see. Man, I'm just kind of looking at like Evo Sword facing either Control Rune or Loxus Forest, and I just feel like it's going to be a bit of a struggle, to put it lightly, right?
Yeah, Loxus can get huge boards out of nothing, and that's not something Evo Sword likes early.
And very quickly.
Yes.
So it's going to be interesting to see. How things actually go there. But yeah, like I don't know. I'm personally really looking forward to how things are going to turn out. Like you said, the Rune versus Haven matchup is going to be looking really interesting. I'm kind of hoping the Forest, if Lolicon can take down the Forest with the Haven. How do you feel about that matchup, by the way? I don't think we talked about that. Loxus Forest with Sanctuary Haven. I don't think we saw it last week either.
Loxus is also kind of favored in this matchup.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess that makes sense though, right?
Sadly, can't compete with the board that often. Like, their only chances to blight, over blight, over blight, over blight, and who has 3 blights in their hand.
And you have to get to the blight first and without losing. Yeah. So
and you need the Sanctuary on board first before you blight.
Exactly. So
by the way,
gonna be interesting.
Cherry on top, if we see Control Rune versus Sanctuary Haven, have you ever seen Sanctuary Haven go aggro? Because that's what he needs to do.
Oh boy, that's gonna be. I hope that experience in the matchup is there, so we can actually see that come to fruition, because that's gonna be pretty exciting. I'm definitely hyped to see that come to the tables. But yeah, I think that basically, any predictions for finals between Life and Lolicon? This is our final chance to place our bets. Anyone that you're sold on right now?
I like Life. He played very consistent. He showed he is a very methodical player. Like, I think I like him a bit.
I think for me,
a slight edge.
I think also I'm gonna probably double down with you on that, because Life, we really saw him like take his time making his plays in the first semifinals as well. So I really agree. Like, he feels like slow and methodical. Every move feels very like carefully thought out. And I think that extra little level of precision will definitely help him to actually like clean it up in the finals too. And of course, regardless of the winner, both players are, of course, qualifying for the finals next week. So that basically confirms our lineup for next week, right?
That is indeed correct.
Yeah, so it's going to be exciting. So make sure y'all, once again, same time next week, same Sunday on the 14th. Make sure you tune in and see the action from the finals. But I think that's mostly it from us on the analyst desk. So we'll take it back to our casters, and you guys can go and watch the finals of this big, very, very exciting MSxREIGN Cross Cup. Take it away, guys.
Classes, okay. No repeat classes. And we're back. Thanks, guys. So we're gonna get grand finals kicking off in just a bit here between Life and Lolicon. Looking at the decks, we have quite a diverse matchup, don't we, Ziyu?
Yeah, really diverse top two here, with Lox's Forest Control Rune against Evil Sword and Sanctuary Haven.
Right. So aside from the Loxus Forest and maybe the Sanctuary Haven, the other two decks are not really commonly seen, right? So
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, pretty happy to see these decks being represented here at Rain Cup Finals.
Yeah,
just goes to show you.
Yeah, very different from SVO, where we have like 8 spell boosters, 6 spell boosters, 6 spell boosters in the top area.
Yeah, but it's a different format. 3 deck 0 ban, 3 deck 1 ban versus 2 deck 0 ban. It's a different cup of tea.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Anyways, so what's the matchup like? How do you think it's going to play out?
I have no idea about Evolved Sword and Control Rune. But between Loxus and Sanctuary Haven, I think it's very Sanctuary Haven favorite, because, well, they heal out of your storm damage with it, and the unicorns actually sets up nicely for a good clear on the Loxus turn.
Right.
Yeah.
And as a Control Rune player myself, I'm very confident in the matchup for Control Rune versus not any form of Haven, but I guess Sanctuary Haven. Control Rune is really good at killing Sanctuary Haven.
What about Sword?
Oh, that one's suffers the same problems as the Voltia one. If your opponent sets up the Sylph one, you're not doing anything, man. You're not getting past the Sylph.
Wait, but you have like, well, Cairo.
Carol doesn't solve your issues if you don't get him low enough. You usually win on turn 9 or 10 for Control Rune. So.
That's right.
Okay, and look at that. Right off the bat, we're gonna get the extremely favorite matchup for Control Rune, the Sank Haven.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see how this goes.
Super favorite for the Control Rune.
Right. I don't see Linkle in the opening hand, so there might be a chance.
Well, he's going second, so like the Ramiro pickup is very strong.
That's true, yeah. Gets you to the high PP turns faster.
That's right.
Okay, so obviously gonna play the Unicorn Altar here. Yep, sets up your 5 PP Unicorn.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
Right. It is turn 1, so not much else you can really do. Oh, and speaking of
that is
Linkle,
the fool.
Yep.
Making a fool out of Haven.
Yeah, so the clock's it's gonna start ticking for Lolicon here. Starting from turn 3, yeah.
Yeah, imagine thinking you can heal out of Lethal when who just makes a fool out of
Imagine healing for 0.
Yeah, imagine healing for 0.
Yeah, where are your Yukaris now? Okay. But anyways, it's not completely unwinnable. You can still win. You just have to work really hard for it.
That's right. I guess it's a link out here because you want to get the spell as fast as possible and
That's right.
play it onto.
Yeah, especially against a super slow deck like Sancthaven. The earlier you set this up, the more you get out of it. So.
That's right.
Oh, draws the Ra though. So you see, that's one of the ways you can win. Basically, you kill them first before they kill you, via Ra or setting up a really big board with Sang, the tigers and everything.
Or setting Ra with a big board.
Right. Yeah. So there are ways you can still win as a Sancthaven. It's just that
you need to work harder.
Yeah, and Rune has outs for that. They have Madcap, Kyaru can kill anything that's 3 HP. Yeah, they have a lot of things to deal with that kind of stuff.
And Folia as well. It's like, I think it's huge enough to bypass the blight damage.
That's true. Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of answers that Control Rune can go for actually against a big board, but
Right.
Play to your outs, right? Like what Shira said.
Yeah, play to your out.
Okay, so this turn, I don't think we can get much out of it.
But picking up the Yukari is nice though. Like it stops the Carriel picking damage.
Yeah, stops the wall too when your opponent does get it.
That's right.
Stops authoring tomorrow as well. Yeah, stops a lot of things actually. Goes for the unicorn here, so perhaps he might be forced to use the embodiment because I don't think you want to leave a unicorn alive for turn 5.
I think you're fine with it because you have the word to answer it if he goes for face. Damage.
But that's only 5 damage, right? You don't.
Yeah. Actually, no. You can embodiment first, then you play the Ramiel, so that you are on 18, and if he goes face, then you are placed in 13, and he kills.
That's true. Yep.
Yeah, because embodiment actually cuts your health by 2.
We'll have to see why he goes for it here.
Yeah. In any case, you should always embodiment first. Because you're not getting any.
Well, that could be sit for the Ramiel as well, right? This is literally the only turn you can Ramiel. So if you don't Ramiel this turn, you're not gonna Ramiel next turn. Like
you can. Yeah, I don't. You definitely embodiment into Ramiel plus altering, I guess, and then you pass after you go face with the link off.
Right. Certainly thinking about it. Pretty important turn.
Oh my god.
Goes for Ramiel without that.
Oh no, dude, that's the only one turn you have.
I mean, he's probably not playing it because he wants 2 spells, I'm guessing. For the Madcap. Because if you use Wings next turn, you only have 2 more spells. So
yeah, I guess
that might be a consideration. And unfortunately, the unicorn does hit Linkle instead of Ramiel. Would have been nice if it went to Ramiel, but this is fine as well. Okay, goes into Lorena.
Wait a minute.
Oh no, I see Wings to you. Wings is pretty good.
Wait, why didn't he play the Ra here? I mean, I think playing the Ra is way bigger threat, and he also sets up.
Maybe he wants the cheap draw card. The Holy Water is a cheap draw you can do next turn.
I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I guess Wings is a very easy clear here.
Yep, and does fetch you 2 followers as well. You kind of want the Kyarus.
Yeah, you want to find the Kyaru right as soon as possible so that you can win with the UB effect.
Oh, okay. So uses 1 Cocutus.
Yeah, you should have played it out earlier. Oh, can you believe this guy?
Wait, this is turn 4, dude. You used Ramiel. Boy.
He messed up.
He got tricked by the Ramiel.
He got tricked by Ramiel.
All right, but not the end of the world though, because
Why not? Why didn't he just play wings? Now that I think about it.
because if you play wings, your map cap is not gonna draw you any more cards.
Oh yeah, that's
You-
right. I guess he
yeah.
wants to max out.
Yep. But of course, you could have done wings and then not used embodiment. That was a
Yeah.
play. But well,
But why are you max capping anyway? I mean, it's usually just like 5/5 stuff that gets.
That is true.
Unless you play Sanctuary. But I don't think you ever play Sanctuary now because, well,
yeah, there's nothing to kill.
that's right.
All right, so he's given a second chance to play that wings. Gotta see whether he does it here.
I mean,
Although
Folia is also pretty good. I think it's always good here.
Let's see what he goes for. Clock is ticking for both players though. So on one end we have the Ra, and on the other hand we have the Linkle. So
Well, I argue that Ra is way more easier to heal out of than Linkle.
yeah, Linkle is permanent, right? It's like you're never gonna recover from this.
Wait, actually, if he gets another Linkle, it's very deadly. This thing.
Right? So he doesn't though. So
Doesn't get the Linkle, so
yeah, we continue to play the long game. See you.
yeah, I think you just pass it because nothing to do anymore.
Well, last week we had this mirror match, right, where it was Sankhaven versus Sankhaven. This is not as bad, but I suspect we might go to turn 10 or like turn 11 at least before we see a winner.
That's right.
Especially because I see 2 Yukaris, 3 Yukaris now. 3 Yukaris. Oh my goodness.
Well, 3 Yukari might make this matchup a bit good for the Karo Rune because most of your ping damage are disabled.
Right.
I guess it's Organia. Actually, you play out the one.
Why not play the 2 Fluffy Angels and just pass?
That also works actually.
Because that's literally 8 HP, right? If you
Yeah, that works too.
yeah, clears your hand as well because your hand is kind of full right now. Don't really want to mess with that.
Wait. So? Yeah.
So he's considering it, I guess. I don't think you go for the world here though. The loss of 1 card can really hurt, and it's not like you have any better play after the world anyway. I don't know what he's considering.
Probably.
The embodiment, maybe?
I think you want to set up as many bodies on the board and before you play Folia, I guess.
Seems like he's gonna go for the Folia here.
Folia. Probably wants to build out the Blight. Possible.
Blight on turn 8 isn't gonna do much though.
Yeah, it's not gonna do much. But that's like 12 damage on the board if you don't do anything.
Right. So draws into the second Sank, but it's not gonna be too useful right now. Perhaps you can hope it pings into Folia twice.
Oh, that is a clear. The Blind Justice. Oh my god, please order it quietly. Blind Justice the biter, yeah. And it is set.
That gets you 2 tigers, right? Yep.
Yeah. And then this speeds up the Yukari as well. And now like the control room player has to play around, so third one they are coming out in 2 turns.
Right. I don't think if you're the control sorry.
Yeah.
I don't think if you're alive right now you'd be worried because there literally are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards in your hand that can heal. So Ra's not really an issue for you. You just need to make sure you outlast the opponent. 3 turns max because Yukari is only 3 times, right? Yep, 3 turns. Yeah, 3 turns, and you'll be Gucci. But hard to say. Hard to say.
Well,
With turn
I
10
mean,
coming
I
around,
would like to play. I would like to play around the world. Well, Ra and the world is a bit deadly, and Rune doesn't have a way to. Well, need to get that damage. Oh, that's a very good pickup.
Oh, that's a draw if I've ever seen one.
Yep.
Now the question is, do you go for it though?
I think you
That
go
is
for
your
it.
last equal point.
I think you go for it because, well, you need to raise steady.
Right. Because Ra is ticking down. Okay, and does go for it. So... Oh, this will be a race. Do you blight here though, so you... Oh, it's like to go for Yukari.
I don't think you ever blight because you want to keep a target on the board for
For the world, right?
the world, yeah.
That's true.
Now the rune can actually just try to clear without leaving out followers on the board. Probably Mad Cap or something.
Okay, so Rune has plenty of options here, doesn't it? Like you have Zalganea, you can do Fluffy.
You can Fluffy and Mad Cap.
Yeah, sure, that's a play as well.
I believe it.
Oh wow, okay, he's just gonna board lock the opponent. World is never gonna come out.
Oh yeah,
What a
yeah.
play.
This is a board lock. This is a board lock. Yes, that's right.
What a play. Okay. Wow. So this is a really interesting board state, huh? Live showing us why he's playing in grand finals. Look at this play. It's
The board lock. Yeah, I never thought about this as well.
yeah.
I was too focused. Yeah, I was too focused on not giving the Zerganea a target, but this is fine too because you can board lock it.
Yeah, this happened last week as well, right? In the same ring cross cup.
That's
where we were playing the Sanchaven mirror, where Chrism board locked himself because he played 2 sanctuaries and the opponent just played nothing. Didn't give him didn't give him an out. But yeah, really interesting turn. I like that.
That was very smart.
And even if Haven does clear the Fluffy Angels, they will heal. They'll heal right back to max HP as well. So it's gonna make life even harder for you. Not to mention, you can't even Yukari anymore. There is no Yukari coming down this turn as well.
Yeah, so an Altering Tomorrow actually deals a lot of damage. 5 damage. Well,
Right.
Well, yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but there is a Zalganea left in the deck, right? For Control Rune?
I believe. Let me check. Yes, there's a Zerganea coming out.
Oh, then Rune's gonna be in a world of pain. Here comes the Blight. Doesn't draw anything too useful.
Wait, the Bahamut could have unboard locked it, but
unfortunately, drew it off the Blight, right?
yeah, drew it off the Blight. So Zerganea comes down and
yeah, if he draws a Kyaru, this game is over.
yeah,
Doesn't.
but he has the Mad Cap to draw, I believe.
The thing is, do you gamble it though?
Probably. Oh, wait, but
Folia's not too good here.
That's
You
not-
kind of want to heal.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, there's actually a universe where Rune might take it.
I think you have to Mad Cap because one draw is not gonna cut it.
Yeah.
You have 18 cards left in your deck. You have to believe that one of them is Karu. Then I guess you trade in the world first. Then only you play the Mad Cap.
Yeah. So it's all down to this. Does he gamble it though? Because if you play world and you attack, that's 4 damage from the world plus 1, 8. You still don't die to Ra, but you're giving your opponent a chance to to Yukari, so
That's right.
yeah, you might not want to chance that. Thinking about it.
No, I don't think you have enough resources to sustain.
Okay, he's going for it. Final turn, boys. And that's the Kyaru! It's over! Everyone's favorite kitty cat. Taking the win against
yeah.
Sankhaven.
That was Ao, and he was calculating how many cards he can find.
Right. Kyaru was the last card as well, right? Oh my.
Yeah.
Taking it by the skin of his teeth. My goodness.
So now it's Loxus against Evolved Sword and Sanctuary Haven. Loxus, well,
I don't really like the Loxus matchup against Sank, though.
because
if you don't run Hanged Man in your Loxus, it's really difficult to fight against all the healing and all the ward and everything that Sankhaven can throw at you, right?
that is right.
Yeah. And I'm not too sure about the Evil Sword matchup because I don't play Evil Sword too much, but I assume you have a fairly good chance against Evil Sword. So Lolicun might Q Haven 2 times in a row. We'll have to see what he does here. Okay, and both players taking a second to think about their picks. Well, Lolicun's thinking about his picks. And yep, potentially the last game of this Rain Cross Cup underway right now. It will be Haven. Yes, that's right. So he queued Haven a second time, anticipating a good matchup for himself. Maybe he can take this and bring us to a finals game.
That's right.
Opening hand Loxus though, see.
Loxus.
That's what you like to see, isn't it?
Yep. Opening up, I guess.
Open up.
Hopefully, well, Loxus is not the only one card that you need to find. You need to find set up for it.
Right. So
And
cards. Yeah, cards like your Varmin Hunter, your Sagittarius,
and your Pasu. Oh, he moused the Loxus away. Huh.
Oh, okay. Gets the Varmin Hunter instead.
Was that right? Wait.
I don't know. I will have to see, I guess. Does get the Sentinel Sagittarius, but I suspect you won't want to use it this turn, especially when you have the wolf in your hand.
Yeah, I think you can pass it.
Yeah, just play for the next turn, right?
Yep.
So it's considering it. Yeah, but I want to say though, like, so far, I'm not sure if anyone else has noticed this, but Life has a really expensive deck, don't you think? That Xeno Sagittarius is the only non-animated card I've seen so far, and I've seen him play this deck like twice, I think.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Really, it's yo.
Well, you're right.
Want to share some vials with me, my man? Could use some vials here. Yeah, if I recall correctly, most of his legendaries in his Forestcraft deck were animated as well. Just the Xeno Sagittarius that wasn't. But
It's a new legendary after all. Like you have to give him time. He'll get the Steel's Globe. Oh wait, that's another one.
Oh, that's not animated. Okay, never mind. I'm sorry, guys. I lied.
It's only the past cards that were.
Yeah, but I saw like triple animated Kokoros though, so I'm pretty sure all 3 of them were animated. Okay, anyways, so this turn is definitely a Xeno Sagittarius into Deep Wolf, right? Or
Yeah, I think so, but might be Sagittarius and Wind Fairy actually, because you want to settle the 0 cost.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the 0 cost bounce for. Wait, actually, I think either are fine because you can still do it next turn.
Right.
That
Oh,
is- That is the.
Look. See, that Elf Queen's animated, dude. Come on.
Yeah, the Elf Queen is animated. Oh wow.
Yo. And I'm pretty sure that Loxus was animated as well before he tossed it back. I'm pretty sure. But anyways, finds a Lorena off the draw, but I don't think you play it, right? Don't you just draw cards this turn?
Yep.
Oh yeah, decides to go for it. Yep. So does have Sank. He can set up Sank next turn. And if you're the Forest Craft player, I think. Oh, okay. Decides to go for the Elf Queen. I didn't even get to finish what I wanted to say. But I was gonna ask though, so would it have been better to set up a Xeno Sagittarius that turn, or just keep?
I would have liked to set up Xeno Sagittarius because it draws more cards and it's an amulet that leaves the board for your Sukuna.
That's right.
To do more damage. So, and it's also a combo piece for your,
Your Noxus.
That's right.
Your open up, does it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, decides not to go for it though, and not sure what he's thinking about right now, but probably counting damage or something for next turn. With 4 PP. Yeah, not much you can really go for, huh? Just the Varmint Hunter and maybe Sagittarius.
That's right.
Okay. Now, do you set up the Holy Sanctuary though? Giving it a bit of thought. Decides to play it safe. Banishes the Elf Queen. Yeah.
I don't know about that. I think I would. I think I would set up the tank as soon as possible.
Perhaps he was afraid of how much damage that could have been done if he had left it.
Yeah, but you're healing it out anyways.
Right. That's what I was thinking as well. You do have that Calm Featherfolk coming in next turn as well, so could have been a perfect turn to set up Sang. Well, decides not to go for it though, so there's no point thinking about it now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why are you playing Sanctuary Haven if you're not playing the Sang on 4. I mean, I guess some matchups you don't have to play it on 4, but still, if you have a chance to put it, why not put it down?
Yeah, it's not a particularly big board as well, right? It's a 2-3 and a 1-2.
Yeah, not that scary.
Well, perhaps he has other reasons why, but we might not be able to find out. So this is an interesting hand, isn't it? You can go for the Xeno Sagittarius bounces this turn, or you can go for the Varmint Hunter.
I think you want to set up for a Loxus.
Right.
So yeah, it's going with the Varmint Hunter Xeno bounce.
Right. Because you kind of want to see the Loxus soon, right?
Oh
wow, okay, it's for older.
Oh, wants to go as wide as possible. Oh right. Yeah, it makes sense because, well, there's no sentry on board, so the Blight doesn't really full clear.
That's true.
But then the Calm Featherfolk actually evolves a bit.
That is true as well. And any damage you just did with the Walder is basically negated, right? He's gonna heal it all back up if he does a Blight here. So I'm not too sure about that play, but we'll see how it goes. Evil's the Calm Featherfolk. Gonna see the Blight here, maybe? Or maybe even sank into set. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, he's going for it. Sank into set. And yeah, this board is actually not too bad. Make sure that your Blight's gonna be real strong next turn.
That's right.
Yeah, and unfortunately things are not looking good for life here. That Sukuna isn't exactly what you want to see right now.
Well, I mean, I guess it's still a Varmint Hunter again.
Yeah.
I'm actually not sure. Well, I don't play Lox.
Either way, I think you want to draw more cards, right? Because the cards you have right now aren't gonna win you the game.
Yeah.
Not by a long shot. Not
I
right
think you
now,
want to-
anyway.
Yeah, you want to find a Passus, I think. No, sorry,
Yeah.
not Passus. Pursuit.
A Pursuit or Loxus or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you both the Varmint Hunter gonna bounce some amulets now. Yep. Okay, here it comes.
Sagittarius, bounce. Sagittarius. Wait, wouldn't you trade first?
Yeah, I'm not too sure why he didn't trade first, but that shit has
Wait,
sailed.
I guess he can evoke the Wilder from his deck by playing out like Lionel. Yeah, Lionel would.
Oh, but that would really hurt.
No, it's okay because the Wilder comes out and you finish off Tiger.
Right. But
I think this is fine, but it gets cleared by Fly.
yeah, by Blight. I was gonna say. Easiest Blight in the world, man. Well, he's considering it. Okay, well, as expected, he does Blight.
That's
And
right.
yeah, so once again,
Probably
life is kind of stuck. Do you play the Xeno Sagittarius Amulet first to see what you draw?
Well, the two amulets that left the board were Steed and I believe Sagittarius, so he can play Adventurer into Sukuna, I guess.
I suppose so.
Is that a play?
I mean, it's not gonna be game winning or anything.
It
Not
could
even
be
close.
also be Sukuna bound, but I don't like that.
I'm thinking Sagittarius and maybe bounce it. You kind of want to see Loxus if you can. Ooh, tough choices.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It seems like he's gonna go for the damage. Yep. Okay. So let's go for the damage. Sukuna
Yeah.
comes down. He goes, gets the 4/4. Now 7/4. Yep. 9 HP left.
That's right. So every Sukuna will do 5 damage.
Right. But unfortunately, this puts him in range for the world, right? And
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah, the
it's gonna
world
clear
will clean up nicely,
yep.
and Forest has to start over again.
Yep. Unfortunately for. Oh wait, what?
Wait,
Doesn't go for
what?
the world? Okay. Well.
Wait, but that was a perfect war.
Oh, I mean, this clears the board as well, right?
I guess, but why?
Yeah. I mean, this does give you more heals. Sets up the tigers for you.
I guess. Sure.
Yeah, I think he just wants the tigers. Oh, I mean, and the unicorn as well. Yep. So sets out a big board as well as clearing the board. I would say, yeah, this looks like a better play, huh? Instead of just a single 5/5, you get a 4/4, a 4/5, and a 5/5.
I guess. I mean, but what do you do right now?
Oh boy. Well, I mean, if you're alive, this is a pretty bad turn.
Sagittarius and Wind Fairy clears the board, but you're not winning.
Yeah.
You
In
could
fact-
also go for the another board law plan and just gonna bounce. I
It's not
guess,
gonna board lock, because the amulet is gonna clear itself next turn.
The amulet pops.
Yeah. So if you're alive, you're really struggling right now. It's a really difficult turn.
Yeah.
And this is why some Loxus play Hangman in their decks, because they don't want to deal with this.
That's right.
Yeah, it's so bad. Okay, decides to go for the Xeno Sagittarius.
Probably bounces it.
Yeah, bounces it. Oh no, but that really doesn't do much. Sure, you cleared the board, but all the damage you did the past few turns, it's just gonna be healed up now. In fact, he can choose not to heal as well because there's no way you're doing 15 damage in a single turn when there's a Ra there.
The Ra starts the countdown now.
Yeah. So now you're on a timer, and you have to get through 15 play point. 15
That's
HP.
the Yukari.
Yeah, 2 of them as well. Oh, there's
that-
the losses.
Um,
Took a while, but I guess he's finally here.
I guess Varmin Hunter actually might be enough to start the lock train.
That's true. Unfortunately for him, though, if he sets up the Varmin Hunter into Loxus, that puts Sankhaven at range to do the
Blight.
world. Yeah.
The Blight also actually clears it.
Oh yeah, he's going for it.
Maybe you set up enough amulets to do a 2-turn Sukuna later.
I suppose you could go for that.
Open up does a
One Sukuna was used the previous turn, right? So
right.
yeah, you're one Sukuna down.
Yeah, probably tries to find a 2 Sukuna later.
2 Sukuna lethal, huh? Well, there's 22 cards in the deck and 1 Sukuna to find. We'll see whether he gets it.
1 out of 22.
Yeah, I like my
Well,
odds. 1 out of 22. So
I mean, he has Sagittarius to draw 1.
he has to hurry up. He has a whole Loxus turn to play, and he's running out of time. Oh, okay.
Wait, the amulet's getting wasted. I guess it comes back.
Not what I had in mind, but I guess it works. This does fall to black though, yeah, it does come down. And yeah.
It's 18 damage. How do you win?
Honestly, at this point, I'm not sure.
Wait. No, it's not gonna help, I think.
Not by a long shot, no. Yo, so what do you even do here?
Probably Elf Queen and Pasut. I think.
You pass it first for the 3 damage instead of 2?
No, because if you don't play the, I mean, if you do that means you don't play the Elf Queen because you want the amulet. Good enough.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
I wanted my amulet to go for the Sukuna instead.
I guess so. Well, I mean, he's considering it now, but this is a really, really bad turn for Forest. You have to make the tough choice. Do you want to push damage to Sukuna this turn, or do you want to set up for next turn? Tough choices. You're on a timer as well because of the world coming down next turn, and Ra that's currently active as well. Yeah. What do you really do here?
I think it's just Pasut and just leave that question to another day. And he actually did. Pasut, fuck you.
Oh, okay. Right. So sets up the Pasut and the
Yeah.
Sagittarius, and here comes the world.
Yeah, he probably wants to fight for like 2-turn Sukuna later.
Well, this is gonna be a really painful turn, right? Taking damage from both Ra and
But hang on.
the
9, 10 damage. Wait, hang on. It's 9 damage, I believe, right now.
okay.
Nine. Wait, isn't it lethal with the Melskers? Yeah, it's lethal, right?
Yeah.
It's lethal with the Melskers. Oh my god, he missed lethal, dude. No, wait, he still can find it. He still can find it if he goes for it. Oh my god, please. It's lethal. That's lethal with Melskers. Dude, no. Dude, please.
Oh
Yeah,
my,
I mean-
okay. Sanctuary. I mean, it is an extended way to win, but I think
But
ultimately
he
it's
actually
still...
found, he actually found the Sukuna, but that was not enough because of the ward in the way.
Yeah, it's too little, too late, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So decides
I
to go for
guess
the elf queen. I'm not
it's
too
over.
sure what this is gonna do. Yeah, not yeah. I don't think this is happening. Right,
That really left a bitter taste in my mouth because that was lethal. That was clearly shown.
I mean, to be
I
fair, he did, find the win anyway. This
Yeah.
does win. He passed the
Yeah,
turn actually.
okay.
I'm not too sure what he's going for here. This is extended BM for sure.
Dude, come on, dude. Your opponent's already down. Come on.
Well, okay. Anyways, so that does mean we go to game 3. Evil
Loxus
Sword versus
Evil Sword.
versus Loxus.
Like, what do you think about this matchup? I have no idea. I've never been tracking Evil Sword's matchups because I don't think it was a deck that I considered.
I do think they struggle against big boards in the mid game.
They're Naruto, no?
They do come alive during turn 8, right? Because
Yeah.
that's a thing. The turns leading up to turn 8, though, I'm not too sure what the defensive options are. I suppose you just trade followers until you reach turn 8. But
That's right.
yeah, Loxus isn't something that you can keep trading followers with, right? Like, he will eventually deal enough damage to face he threatens lethal. So we gotta see what Lolicun does in this matchup, because I'm no expert on Swordcraft, but I would say that Loxus
sword
has
is going first.
Oh, then that Ramiel is a definite toss then.
Yeah, it's a definite toss. I think you keep the shield phalanx only.
We kept everything.
Why? And?
I suppose Ramiel is a good defensive card, but not too sure about that key.
Oh, now he gets the Loxus, so we have an actual Loxus game now.
Yeah, and he does have Pastures and the Quixotic Adventurer and the Sagittarius. He can set up a lot of things right now. He just wants to find maybe an Elf Queen or something to protect himself.
That's right.
Here comes the Ramiel. Okay, let's see what the draws are. Vagabond is pretty good, isn't it?
Oh yes, it's definitely good.
Yes,
It sets up theoretically 2 amulets on the board.
that's right. And wow, he has 2 of them as well. He can use one this turn and then use another one next turn, and he'd have a perfectly working Loxus board for turn 5.
Yep.
So I guess now you're looking for. Oh wow, draws into the second Pastures. You're looking for. What's her name? Sukuna? Yep, you're looking for Sukuna now, right? To complete the.
It's either Sukuna or like another Axel or something.
Right.
Yeah, I guess he has 2 Axels already with the past
Right.
2.
By the way, I want to point out that currently his hand is full animated. Just
Yeah, we know that. That means he's just a whale, dude.
That's Xenos Sagittarius though.
Yeah.
And the Wind Fairy. Okay, so decides to play a Gelt this turn, hoping to potentially get a commander next turn. Oh my goodness, is that a varmint?
Goodness.
Okay.
I hope he plays the lizard out.
Alright.
Because he needs the amulet on the board.
Yeah,
Only
so
lizard steed and then Loxus into Exo Wilder Varmint. I'm not sure how it works, but I guess that's how it works. I mean,
Varmint Hunter is pretty good. So, he's gonna set up.
wait, this only sets up 1 amulet on the board after this turn.
Maybe he's deciding to go for Loxus on 6 or something.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
Well, in any case, going second, I was thinking that he was gonna build a Varmint Hunter to set up a big board potentially. With the evil point and everything, you can set up like 2 steeds. But
Yeah.
well, I guess he didn't go for it, so no point thinking about that now.
Well,
So in this case, what do you use your evil point for then? Because if you don't use it, When will you use it?
Yeah, exactly right.
Okay, so I think this is a Kagemitsu play. Yep, goes for it. And Shield Phalanx is looking pretty good right now. Does he go for it though? Because I don't think you play Thief here, right? It's not gonna evolve.
Yeah.
Thinking about it.
What is Shield Phalanx?
Yeah. Well, no matter what he plays, right?
Yeah.
No matter what he plays with the remaining 2 PP,
That's
I think he's not an Evo, right? So this would mean that both players gave up their Evo points on their Evo turn. Which I think is really interesting because you seldom see that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And now we gotta do the math. Do you want to Loxus this turn?
Yeah, I don't wanna do that. Can I not?
Sure, but
And I don't wanna this. I mean, I have no idea what's going on because I don't play Loxus, and well, I try to understand what's going on, but
alright, I feel you. Loxus is pretty big brain, right?
yeah, it's a very difficult deck.
Yeah. And well, I mean, Life doesn't know, but Lolicrune does have a Nahat. And I'm pretty sure Nahat is good at destroying boards, right, to you?
Yeah, very good. But he passed. Well, that was an intentional pass.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was worried about the Nahat, which... What?
Why would you play it? Wait,
Wasn't
he
it-
gets, I mean, I guess you
I'm
want
not
to give
sure what the play is for.
he wants
Do you
to give
think
the
he's
to
evolve? I guess, but
eh?
this gets destroyed by a pastures, doesn't it?
Yeah, I guess destroyed by passions.
This is insane. I mean, wow. Alright then.
But why? I mean,
I guess that's a play, but oh my. I mean,
And then-
of course he doesn't know that you know the opponent has pastures, but
Yeah.
this is the kind of thing you play around, right? That was
that's why
oh no.
the kind of thing- play around.
Yeah, and well now your opponent's gonna get a really big Loxus board next turn.
Yeah,
On the
but
bright side, you do have the Tyrant's Order, but I don't think your opponent's gonna have 5 followers to clear, so this is pretty bad.
probably 3. If
Yeah.
life is good enough to set up only 3 followers, then it should be fine.
I mean, even if you want to set up more than 3, it's pretty hard, right? At most, it's going to be 4. I don't think you're going to 5 as Loxus Forest.
Yeah, and there's also no Octa in the hand of
Yeah.
so
In fact, I don't see any other play other than the Amelia next turn. It's pretty rough. So Life taking his time to think about what he's going to do after this, I suppose. But yeah, if you're alive, you're sitting pretty right now. That was a pretty good turn. Okay, goes for the Amelia. Has the option to set up the Arthur this turn if
there's
he wants.
still no Octa.
Yeah. So Evil Sword's been having a rough time, right?
Yeah.
No Octa at all. I mean, though they did win against the the Voltio Blood just now without Octa, but
Wait, he gave it
Yeah.
to the Arthur instead of the. I mean, I guess yeah, it makes sense.
right, because you want to protect yourself.
Yeah,
This could be a pretty big storm. Okay, so I suppose this is the turn you set up Loxus, right? Because when else are you gonna do it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Farming Hunter in a Loxus? Yep, looking like it. This gets rid of Arthur's shield as well. And they both ping into... Oh no.
Oh wow, that is great.
Oh, okay, here comes the Loxus. Open up, does it?
Open up, does it?
There it comes, boys.
Love it. We hate it all the time.
Open up, does it? Now, do you Shamu or do you play the Walter? I think you Shamu, right? Because oh wait, no,
Doesn't evolve, so
yeah, it doesn't evolve yet. So no, not yet.
not yet. Two amulets comes in, then you bounce the Walder, I believe.
Yeah,
Then
because
another
he gets
Walder-
really big next turn.
Yeah, then another Walder comes out, I believe.
Oh my goodness,
Another Walder comes out, and then
oh.
and then you play the amulet, and then
It's
you
lethal, isn't it?
it's
That's
lethal.
lethal. Wow, doing the math, showing us why he is gonna take it. Life is your champion. Wow.
That was nicely done.
Yeah, passing turn 5 to set up a brilliant turn 6 into turn 7. Lethal. Oh my goodness. So Lox's horse takes it. Yeah, life takes it. Wow. That final turn.
That was good.
Yeah. And I guess this is why it's meta now, right?
Yeah. Even though it's a difficult deck to pilot, but it's strong, does its job
Yeah.
as well.
So much damage. Okay, so props to both players, Life and Lolicon. They will both be qualifying if I didn't get the wrong info.
Fighting for playoff.
Okay. So that means they will be joining Chrism and Styx, right?
Yeah.
All right. So yep, look forward to that, guys. Playoffs again happen next week, but I'll let our analyst desk and end it for us. They will talk more about that.
All right.
Take it away, boys.
And that was a finals. God, actually insane. Like, we highlighted how Life is a, calm and calculated player, but that really showed extra hard in that final match. Man, like what are your first feelings after having seen all that?
I'm just saying, open up, brother. I mean, this is our home.
This is our
Totally
home.
playing in English.
Man, like let's dial back all the way to the first game. It feels like the first game was already like a billion years ago, but Control Rune and Sanctuary Haven was the matchup we wanted to see in particular. And man, like there was a lot of things I liked in that. From the Control Rune side, we had like the early Linkle for like the instant like ticking clock with the the power downs, and then we had like the early Unicorn from Lolicon as well. That is like essentially denied like the Rampiel play, remember? Because he had like the Ramiel that could ramp, but then because it was 5/5, he kind of had to like play around in a weird way and still choose to ramp. And I really, really liked that part as well. Like it was nice to see this sort of like back and forth, like responding to each other's like board presences as well. But then I think the biggest thing in that matchup was like, I remember right before we went into it, Shireen, you said how like for Haven, this is the one time, like the one matchup where they really have to step up the aggression, right? But then
Yes.
he didn't, but then Life also didn't punish that lack of aggression either, right?
Yes, Life is, as I said, slow and methodical player, and he is always thinking ahead. What can I do with my hand right now, I think. And what he didn't do is, what do I need to win this matchup? Because he wasn't that keen on drawing cards, in my opinion. This game could have been much less close, I think. Though I have to say, the World Deny was a Galaxy Brain move.
Yeah. That was really, really
was
well
good.
played out. Yeah, like that was actually fantastic. And in general, like the hands that we could also see on the Sanctuary Haven side for Lolicon as well. Like there was like one stage where it was like triple Yukari, triple Blight. It was just like, well, I mean, that's going to be a little bit hard to play through, but in the end, still managed to get through it. There was like also like Lolicon had a really nice answer to that one Folia turn where he like it kind of felt like, ooh, these might actually be sticking, but then he managed to kind of get over it. And man, I remember in the very last turns when we were like looking at that madcap and we were like collectively, it was like what? I think Lolicon was left with 10 life, and then Life essentially finally cast the madcap, found the Carol for lethal, and I was like, yes, finally he connected the dots and he managed to see it and go into that. Like Carol really showed up this matchup, and the timing was so important because Yukari was right around the corner, right?
Yeah, like Life didn't know that Lolicon had 3 Yukaris in his hand, but he played around multiple Yukaris, like with the World Deny, because he left him board locked completely,
Yeah.
so he couldn't actually get it. Like he laid everything down on one card and went all in, and the all in worked.
Yeah, honestly,
Huge respect for that play.
Yeah, honestly, like Life really showed up in that one. It was really cool to see him just perform and execute at such a high level. Like that was really, really cool to see. And overall, like Life we were also talking about it. Like it really feels like both players, they're really going to be able to hold their ground next week against the Japanese players too. So that's going to be really cool to see. And so then, we had game 1 from Life. We go into game 2, Loxus versus Haven. Feels Loxus favored, but the winner was actually Sanctuary Haven. So that was pretty interesting because it felt like, Loxus was trying to actually draw into Loxus, the win con of the deck. And it had to basically go like varmint into varmint, board clear, board clear, board clear, dig, dig, dig with all the Xeno Sagittariuses, the starts and like every single turn. But it just felt like it wasn't really enough. And then, there was like, we had the one turn with like the Blight and the Sanctuary that just like board cleared really well. And then we had the Quixotic and Sukuna turn, which was like massive damage that felt like he was getting this close to finishing the game. And then when he then he did like a Xeno clear, which felt really good too. But then when he finally got the Loxus on turn 8, it felt so, I don't know, like a wet noodle. It didn't really do too much. It didn't really have much of an effect on the game state. And he sort of just ran out of steam, it felt like.
Yes, definitely. In that moment, the Loxus was just, hey, I'm going to open the farm. Here, look, there are the sheep, there are the people. Welcome to the people.
Yeah.
And, like, nothing happened. Not like in game 3, though.
Yes, game 3 was... Oh dear, that was a complete different story. So the matchup changes, from Loxus Forest, that one stays, but we change into the Evo Sword from the Sanctuary Haven. Man, the Evo Sword really, it felt like a balanced matchup. Overall, had like good board presence very often, had the Kages going on, had an early Gelt, and like everything like that. Overall, it just felt like, the Sword player had a lot of things going for them. And then we saw Life was he had the Loxus in the opening hand, and he picked up the Varmint in turn 4, which is when we looked at it, was like, that's perfect. That's literally like the nicest way you can get that set up. But he stalled it out a little bit, right? He stalled it out a little bit, just kept stalling it off, and he had that like the Pastures turn with like massive board of amulets and everything. And then we were just thinking like, he's really taking his time to get to this point, right? And then it all paid off. Oh my god.
He actually was like, okay, I'm not going to kill you over multiple turns. I just need 2 turns. That's all I need.
Yeah.
And I'll set up those turns, and it was a thing of beauty. Let me tell you, those giant pastures that cleared the whole board into it was just delicious. That was
so well executed.
Shadowverse.
Yeah, like the execution of the lethal from Loxus Forest, from Life in that last turn was just ridiculously good. Like that was beyond clean in my opinion. And it's like
I didn't even see that lethal.
Yeah, it's like having seen that, it feels so good that we're sending them next week to the grand finals. So honestly, that was such a well-played game, and just this entire top 4 honestly was a treat to watch. But of course, speaking of the grand finals, don't forget that next week will be the finals. So we have our 4 players from the MS side, which are Chrysome, Styx, Life, and Lolicon that you've watched over these last 2 weeks. They'll be facing the 4 players from Japan from Reign next week. So that's going to be very exciting. If you want some times in JST, this will be, so we're going to have the first quarterfinals that will be happening off stream from 8 p.m. JST, and then the stream begins with the first semifinals with at 9 p.m. JST. Then the second semifinals will be at 10 p.m. JST, and finally the grand finals at 11 p.m. JST. And of course, the format is going to be best of 5, hence why there's 1 hour between each semifinals. And it's going to be 3 decks, 0 bans. So you're going to see all kinds of decks popping off. It's like SVO with your 3-deck representation, except you're going to get to see all 3 decks rather than one of them getting banned. So that's going to be really exciting. So if you're in the mood for competitive Shadowverse, you got this. You just had SVO before this. You got SVO next week. You got the MSxREIGN Cup. There's all kinds of competitive action for you guys waiting here on Twitch.tv. So make sure you also follow up on the Team Manager's Twitch channel as well as the Twitter, and join the Discord to stay notified of any announcements, not just for the tournaments now, but also in the future. If you want to take part in these events and experience some competitive Shadowverse, maybe you're not feeling particularly ready for the SVO just yet, but you want to get your first kind of feel for competitive tournament play, the MS Cups and the MSxREIGN Cup is a perfect place to be.
Definitely. I couldn't have said it better myself, Chris.
Gotta give the squad the shout outs they need. But I think on that note, I'm pretty sure we basically covered everything. Like, this was a really fantastic top 4. Do we have any closing thoughts?
Just one question to you, Chris. Who do you think is going to take, who are you betting on from our West Side boys?
Squad. All right,
our
who of our squad can take it? I don't know. Man, that's a hard question. I'm personally kind of rooting for Chrysome. I feel like he's got what it takes. He definitely wasn't feeling it too well after SVO yesterday with the kind of like mistaken meta calls and stuff. Or not really mistaken meta calls, but the kind of 4D chess meta call where you attempt to meta call, but then nobody actually plays the thing you're trying to call. So that kind of 4D chess does happen sometimes, but you can't do too much about it. But I believe in Chrysome. He's a very, very competitive player. Life honestly played insanely well, and like the calm and calculated plays really, really were exciting to watch. Styx as well, and Lollycoot. Like, honestly, all 4 players, if I had to pick one, I think I'm gonna side with the homie Chrysome. Let him graduate from Pasut once and for all and take it all next week. What about you?
I'm sorry, but I'm a Styx fanboy by heart. Yo, Twilight Knights, you got this.
Wow.
Just saying, Styx is always in there. He plays SVO like crazy. He is almost always top 8. And this man is a beast. He's in the same team as Yahiko. He's in the same team as Most Weakest. 2 World Grand Prix players. It's time that Styx also shows what he's made of.
Let's go, Styx.
And I'll tell you, Styx will win. My prediction. If he's not taking it, I'm eating a sock on stream.
Clip this right now, chat. Clip this right now. Hold him to it. Hold the man to it. But on that note, though, those are our predictions. Make sure you cast yours in the chat as well. Who are you rooting for next week? And if you do want to support them, the best way to do it is coming through to the stream next week and showing your support to these players as they face off against the 4 that qualify from the Reign side in Japan. But I think that's basically going to be it for us for today's show. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Thank you, SxREIGN, for working with me today, as well as our other casters that, gave you all the entertainment throughout all of those games. So huge shout outs to them as well. And of course, thank you to Managers, as always, for hosting these live streams, as well as the actual tournament itself.
It was an honor, Chris.
Likewise.
Homies.
Homies for life. That's right. But yes, I think on that note, we're going to send you guys, to the offline screen, essentially. But yeah, that's basically going to be it for today's show. Hope you guys enjoyed all the games. It was a very exciting day for some competitive Shadowverse, right after the SVO as well. But yeah, I think that's basically it from us. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next week for the grand finals.